Yo, this is Hidrux, and I'm going to be playing some Shadowrun for the SNES. So this will be part 1. I have played this game several times before. Enough said, we'll get into it here. So I've never beat this game, I've never wrapped it, I've never completed it. Generally I take it right up to the end and then stop after having to grind too much on the final boss, final stage, so to speak. And full disclosure, I already did a run with this once. However, I got stuck at the junkyard and accidentally saved over my last save, so I'm just going to start again. And yeah, hopefully get a good experience here. Brain burnt. They say some game geeked him. Yeah, he don't look so dead. He's flatlined out. Take care of him in the morning. Yeah, in the morning. Yeah, Sam. Oh, my head. My brain feels burnt. Where am I? Who am I? Yeah, there's the note that drops from the slab here. Ooh, button here. Label reads Armitage J. A bit of paper fell out, so I'm not going to be picking this up. Oh, because of course I picked it up. I didn't want to, just because it clutters up the inventory and you only really need to examine it once. So the paper reads warehouse number 5 here. And then there's a slap pack or a scalpel over here. Okay, scalpel. Very sharp instrument, so I can pick that up. And using triggers, the triggers from the SNES controller allows me to grab and examine things without having to go through the little menu here. If I go like this using the A button, it gives me this menu. And this is a healing patch, right? And if we see there's L and R bumpers or shoulder pad buttons, I just use those to do things. It just makes things faster. Oh, it's alive. Right, so starting again here for me. It's been a minute, it's been a couple weeks since I played. Let's head outside here. Hey, you. What? You can't be alive. I saw you get geeked by those hitmen. You're crazy showing your face again. You better get smart like me and pack a firearm or you'll wind up dead. Ask about firearms. I ain't got time to talk to a corpse. If those guys find out I was with you, I'll be creamed too. Hitman, they want you dead. If I were you, I'd watch myself. And that's all I can get out of him, so I'm just gonna follow him here. There's a couple hitmen and peoples there that I can't deal with because I don't have a weapon yet. Looks like you took a wrong turn, Dreckhead. It'll be your last. So go ahead and grab this gun here. Red T101 pistol. Gotta equip that now. It's a little bit of RPG elements here. Weapon. Just use. Mega Dave coming through. We're playing Shadowrun for the Super Nintendo here. I got the cartridge somewhere. This is a cyberpunk game mixed with fantasy, so it's computers meets fantasy meets like modern sort of Hitman style here. So the story will kind of unveil itself as it goes along here. And of course my stats are crazy low right now. I'm not even sure I'm gonna be able to survive this. There's always that chance that I might die, right? Guess not. Okay, so then go ahead and examine the body here. There's a worn leather jacket. I'm gonna pick that up. And throw that on here to bring up my defense, I guess. So go ahead and use. There's no way to examine that, I guess. It probably just says leather jacket, right? That's all there is in here, I think. Isn't the dog over here? Yeah, the dog spirit's here. Okay, so I have a strange feeling about those eyes. Tread carefully, whelp. You have much to overcome. Dog controls your destiny. Seek out 3 items of his favor and then seek his shrine. Ask about dog here. It says grr. Grr. Anything else I ask him, I guess he just growls at me. And yeah, so that's it for this area. I can't continue down the alleyway there. There's nothing over there, as far as I know. So the idea of the playthrough here for me is just to kind of explore things. I've played this before, as I said. I haven't beaten it. And yeah, I'll just take things sort of one step at a time. There's no point in talking to all these people. I'll do this dog right now. Get this dog out of the fence here. There's no way to talk to him or anything. He just continues on his way. Oh, woof, 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 woof. And then he drops a collar. And this is one of the things that the dog spirit was talking about, that I need to talk to the dog spirit, or one of the things that the dog spirit wants, and a combination of items to get a spell. Relating to the Genesis version, I believe you buy spells, whereas this one, you require items and then you bring them to your sort of spirit animal, and that spirit animal will give you spells based on those items. And doors hit you. Gotta be out of the way, right? Okay, so then this is part of the game here. There's a guy here. Just examining him. There's a key in his pocket. He's badly injured. Look at this key here. There is a number on the key. It reads 6. So I'm gonna grab that. And that's all I can get from that guy. And there's some cash or memo. So let's examine it here. The memo reads, Armitage to perform courier run to Matrix Systems, 70-30 splits. So, as I said before, like with the note at the beginning, I can pick this up, but there's really no point in picking it up. And there's something else in here. And then this other room here, I believe, is just a battle. Empty room, really. That'll probably just get me killed. So continue along here, and this apartment is over here. These 2 rooms have more hitmen and stuff in them. This is the room here I want, I believe, right? If I examine the door, it says apartment 6. Jump into my inventory and grab this key here, door key, and then use the door in there. So this is sort of like the save point, the rest point, recover stats and health and stuff. There's a phone call here. Jump on the video phone. There's a recorded message. Cancel your run, Jake. Hand over the files. We mean business. Drake. Right, and there's a computer which is inaccessible. Some books, nothing. Here's a filing cabinet here. Open that up. Examine it. $20. I'm gonna need that. Examine it again. There are many files here. Okay. And on this little table here, there's some shades. So examine those. Dark sunglasses here. I'm just gonna grab those. Those will come in handy later. There's a bed here, so I'm gonna jump on the bed. Okay, I'm not sure. I guess I gotta use the menu to use the bed. And then this is sort of the save karma system. Karma is attribute or sort of stat boosters, skill tree kind of thing. I have no karma right now, so I'm not going to be spending anything. I'm just going to save over my previous game here. Before I head into the junkyard, I'm going to do a state save because I'm not going to risk last time. Here's a rip note. I'm going to examine that. Sassy 702826. So I don't have a cred stick yet, so I got to get a cred stick before I can use the phone. So at this point, it's just kind of grinding. I found that the best pace to grind is this guy over here for money. So I'll do if he's here, no, he's not there. I'll do one round here, and then I'll sort of continue. That guy's just $20 or whatever, but this guy can give up to $50, so I prefer to waste my health, because usually when I fight this guy, it takes half my health at the beginning, right? So get one round at a time, and then kind of get karma. that into firearms so it doesn't take as long to kill him. So yeah, see, $30 compared to this other guy. Actually, the peephole guys don't give anything. They just give potential karma, right? Yeah, there's no money there or anything. The guy on that leans over the fence does, but like I said, he only gives like 10 or 20 bucks, whereas that guy on the roof gives about 30 to 50. So I'm just gonna go rest up here again. I didn't get any karma. I just want to regain health. Just do a save. Save, save game 1, exits. Just get some cola. None of these other rooms open. I can open up this door just to demonstrate what's in here, and there's just, yeah, hitmen in there. There's no items in there, as far as I can remember. My last playthrough, I was running around looking for the paperweight, but I don't believe it's in this section of the game. Everybody else doesn't really say anything important. I got the dog collar already. If I go back in here, then these morticians, right? That sounds like such a weird word. Is that even a word, mortician? It's just, no zombie eek, and then they run into the closet. Yeah. Store is locked from the inside. Some filing cabinet. The filing cabinet's locked. Filing cabinet's locked here, and yeah, so that's this room again. Come back there later. Sort of a progression in the game. Progression area. And I'll come in here later-ish once I get something sort of triggered. So my goal here, find out in a second, I'll just get rid of this guy. My goal here right at the beginning is to do some money gaining, I guess you could say. Getting money. And this is Grim Reaper Club here. I'm just going to go around talking to people here. So I'll start with this guy, I guess. Busy man. You look troubled, young man. Is something wrong? You best be prepared. I've had to heal enough men who thought they were safe running the shadows. Dog. Slow down, boy. You're talking too quick for me. Firearm. Slow down. Heal. Forget all that talk of magic. You're better off leaving yourself in the hands of a skilled street doctor. Street dog. Hit them. Slow down. Street dog. Pity I'm retired, but there are some good ones around. Most can handle tech like that data jack of yours. And it looks like that's it for oh, yeah, no, that's it for sort of my trigger words here. Over here, talk to this guy. Club manager. Gentlemen. Haven't seen you for a while, your usual, I suppose. One nice tea coming right up. So I don't think he responds to anything. You look pale. Firearms. If you hadn't got one already, you best get armed. Heal. Pale. Hitman. Someone after you? Maybe you should hire some Shadowrunners to watch your back. Shadowrunners. Some of them carry some pretty lethal firearms. They could really help you. My grandma. Street dog. Okay, so I've exhausted all the options for him, and he heads over there. Mix me a drink here. Here you go, your favorite. So I'm just gonna grab this here. Iced tea. It's a chilled. The iced tea is chilled. So pick that up. Talk to him again. So what's been happening with you? Last I heard, some Mr. Johnson had you lined up for a run. Never quite picked you as a Shadowrunner. Okay, so maybe he'll say different things now. Ain't heard, but I'll let you know if I do. So go through these here. And Shadowrunner. There's a few who are regulars, deckers mostly. Why, are you thinking of hiring? So I got 2 new keywords there. One is decker. If you don't have a cyber deck, I wouldn't go jacking into the Matrix with only your data jack. Best hire a decker to do the job for you. And then I believe the other one was hiring. Right? Hiring them can be expensive, but if it keeps you alive. Okay, so I've exhausted all the options here, I believe. Just making sure. Because he's back from mixing my drink, right? Maybe he might say something else here. Alright, so I'm gonna head over to this guy here. Jamaican, it says talk. Back off, dude. Can't you see I'm using the phone? Talk to this orc here. This is Hamfist, I believe. Hamfist don't like you already. You best have good new yen if you want to hire a decker like me. You think I'm done? Done 100 runs, and I haven't lost one neuron yet. Thanks, Data Jack. You ain't saying nothing that interests me. So what did I ask, Decker? Hamfist chop up cyberspace real good. Been in the grid more times than I can remember. I'm just gonna exhaust the list here. So I think the only thing really that triggers him is hiring. 500 new yen, right? And Hamfist chop up cyberspace real good. So I don't have that kind of money yet. Your gun is no match for mine. You'll regret it. A couple other things. It's not saying much. Oh, Shadowrunner. If you need tech, I can burn any ice there is. If you need magic, the Jamaican casts magic for you. So ice is like security measures inside cyberspace. Street dog, you ain't saying anything that interests me, Spug. Okay, so we're done talking to him. So my goal here is to hire this guy and make a little bit more money and jack into cyberspace because there's a computer nearby that I can hack. However, we'll come to that bridge once I cross it. I'm just going to progress the game a little more here by talking to this guy. So this guy says, club patron. I'll examine him. He looks very tired. I actually didn't examine anybody else, did I? I said orc. He's too far away. Okay, so it looks like you can't just examine everybody, I guess. No, I guess just that one guy. Yeah. He's on the phone here. The phone is being used. Okay, so this guy's tired here. So if I attempt to talk to him, yeah, he has the examine button, right? So go talk. I had a rough day. I need some rest. Look, I just want to relax and unwind. So if I try to ask him anything, I'm too tired. Maybe later. Right? Let's go through. I'll brief the list, right? Skip every second one sort of thing. And he just says the same thing. I'm too tired. So the trigger here to progress the game is to go into your inventory and give him the iced tea, right? So go ahead and give the club patron here. And then we'll examine him here. Not just do anything. So if I talk to him again, there's no examine anymore. Cheers, Chummer. My favorite too. Almost had them. I had the tickets in my hand. Sob. So ask him. I'm too beat. What was that? So if I ask him both things here. The rest of the list. Firearms. Snap. Bro. Mega Dave. Looking up from having my back here. Continue through these. Are you still in the chat, bro? Are you still chilling? What's going on with you today? It's the weekend, so I'm not sure that you work any overtime or what's going on. So I'm going through the list here. I'm not getting anything. Oh, tickets. That's the trigger, right? Okay, so I went through most everything here. Tickets. Tickets to the Maria Mercurial concert. They were almost mine. I even gave Grinder the money. So Maria Mercurial. I'm going to constantly say that name wrong just because I don't know how to pronounce it. So every time it's going to be different, right? So a little bit of comedic humor there. Okay, so let's talk. Oop. Ask about Maria here. Maria Mercurial is the hottest thing in town. She doesn't come by these parts too often. That's about Grinder here. Poor Grinder. He got wasted by Lone Star. The more guys carried him off. What was left of him? And I believe that's it. So I've gotten the triggers here. Tickets again. Yeah, so it's the same thing. I'm chilling, brother. Sending the love. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Much appreciated. So yeah, I'm pretty sure I've exhausted everything from here. So it's important to get these trigger words to progress the game. But I believe I have everything. So my next goal here is to hire this guy, right? Because he'll kind of not really double my money, but he'll help me along. My money right now, I think I'm at like $30, right? And it's $500, so I'm at $50. But it should move faster, targeting just that one guy. There's a crypt there. And I'm just going to explore the game a little bit. There's nothing down here. It's sort of a dead end. Sometimes there's hitmen hanging out of the trash cans. They do drop money, but not as much as that guy on the roof. So I'm going to head into what's called the cage here, right? So this phone's dead. Welcome to Ecotel phone slot. Please insert cred stick. Okay, now I'll talk to this guy. Heavy bouncer. 7 foot high and 4 foot wide. So just chat him up here. Talk. The no entry without an official ticket. Come back when you got a ticket. And then if I ask him things, the what? The only thing, maybe Maria might trigger him? The what? Okay, so. The only thing that asks the ticket, you're not getting in without a bub. So. That's the extent of that. And it says that you think he's a heavy bouncer, 7 foot wide. So this is generally a troll, but sometimes in the game they call these big guys orcs. I'm not sure. But I'm pretty sure he's a troll, right? Like literally. Not figuratively. So this is one of the guys that hangs out the trash can here. I'm just trying to figure out my buttons. There we go. Sniper, right? Skills of a sniper hanging out a trash can using a handgun. Should have just called him Hitman. Okay, so he's dead, and they do drop money. So grab that money. 20 bucks, not a lot. There's this woman here. She's on her way to loyal citizen, right? I'll give her a chat. So again, like I said this last time, I think this is the only time we see this woman graphic in the video game. Well, hello. Why, hello. Are you off to the club? And I'm not going to do a woman voice, not at all. Like, maybe I'll like lighten it up a bit, but yeah. Well, I'm off to the party. You look like you could use some loosening up yourself. That's good. What a couple things. Hey, not sure. Right? So that's generally what she says for everything. And there's only a few things that do trigger her. I believe firearms, maybe. Oh, I did already, right? So Maria, I'm sure triggers her, right? Yeah, she's playing the cage tonight. Coming along. And I believe also, because she gave me the cage trigger now, so I'm gonna check that. All the inn people go there, but you'll need tickets. So then just tickets, right? Tickets. If you already got them, you're out of luck. Twice, babe. So that's it for her. So that a little interesting interaction. I'm not sure if we see that face graphic again. So there's a crypt here, and there's ghouls in here, but this is sort of a Bronze Gate, sort of experience level. The ghouls that are in there, they don't give you experience, but I will do what's called ghoul busting, just for karma. But I gotta get the money first, right? Oh man. Okay, so that's a pretty close one here. I might not survive my way back. I'm just gonna have to duck every fight. I will go in here right now and just to explore a bit. It's the second one. If I go in there, I might get killed because there's more hitmen in there with no items or anything. So there's this guy, right? And this guy looks like Pauly Shore. So I'm going to try to do a Pauly Shore voice, which will be interesting. I nailed it before, but always when I do it, it's kind of... Keep your voice down. You have some you want to offload? I had better be good. And the less heat behind it, the better. That's all a little bit. I'll try to wiggle into some more. You don't seem to know what I mean. Are you a Shadowrunner? But yeah, this face, man, it looks like looking Pauly Shore to me. It always has. I don't know what he's got on his head there. If that's like a band-aid, it kind of looks like a button. I don't know. But yeah, that face though, right? And my main character's face, it just looks so horrid. Okay, so this guy's a, what's it called? Businessman. It says businessman. So he's a merchant. There's a couple things I can ask him. So I got the hiring here. You're gonna need plenty of money, at least 500. If you're fast talker, you might negotiate your way into something better. No, my Pauly Shore voice isn't working here, so I'm gonna keep trying though, just because it's fun and funny. That's in my opinion. So Lone Star, right? You want to play rent a cop? We might be able to accommodate you for 150 new yen. I'll get you Lone Star ID badge. You want it? So I don't have 150 bucks right now. I have to come back. You're right. I'll save it for someone who needs it. Yeah, no, it's been such a while since I've seen a Pauly Shore movie too. Negotiation. On the streets, a good negotiator. Even sells a lot of money. I did it better last time, but last time I was having a drink, so. And then there is firearms, right? So these are the 3 triggers for this guy. That stuff moves fast. All I got is some grenades from a munitions dump heist. 100 new yen. You want one? So grenade, right? So grenade. They're okay. They're pretty like lethal damage and they have a good coverage space, but they're expensive kind of for nothing. So that's it for this guy. This is generally, I have to come back to this guy and get that badge. If you're hiring, they can almost have any skill you could want. So that's some Shadowrunners. All right, so let's get up out of here and go do some grinding. I gotta hit the mattress here, regain some health. I gotta duck these hitmen too, because I'm almost dead. Okay, so Gotta watch out for those peepholes. Leaning Tower of Cheetah. Is that from like Goof Troop, I think? Oh, Cheetah, right? Leaning Tower of Cheetah. From the Goof Troop. Okay, so I've covered most everything as far as the map goes. There's just that one area there, but I'll go in there later because it's kind of sort of a process thing. Like there's things in there and I might as well just deal with it later. Bring that thicker ham fist. So it's going to be grinding right now. As much as I don't like grinding, I'd actually much rather cheat, but I don't have any sort of Game Genie codes or anything right now. So I'm just going to have to roll with it. Do some grinding here. Save. And this is just going to be me going back and forth and fighting that one guy until I can get my money up to 150. 150? 500. Right, so I can hire the ham fist guy there. Oh, gotta learn these buttons again. I always feel like I'm pushing the wrong button. Like when I go to talk to someone, I whip out the crosshair, and then when I'm going to fight, I always whip out the finger. It's just gotta get into it, gotta get into the momentum, so to speak. So I think the reason that this guy is more expensive is that he's actually harder. Like when he takes shots, they hit harder, whereas these guys, they don't hit as hard. Well, that's a 4, so that's still pretty hard, I guess. Ooh, actually, I gotta dip. Oh, yeah, it did. Well, I just saved, so Jake is dead. So this is the game over sequence. Not one of those pro strats players where I'm like, you know, damage this run or top speed or 100% items. I'm just playing the game and chilling. What I do kind of do is I like to explore as much as I can, like get as much as the game in as possible. But if there's like weird secrets that I go to jump through hoops to get, I won't do those. There isn't very many secrets that I know of, or cheats really. Just strategy. Shadowrun doesn't have a lot of that kind of stuff. It's mostly based on strategy. I wouldn't really even say strategy. It's just really gameplay, playing it through linearly and just kind of having the right amount of stats at the right time. So right now, I could progress through the game. However, making it to the next section of the game, I will definitely die. So I already got 1 karma here. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to go use that put it into firearms. And what that does is it'll increase my accuracy so that I don't have to stand there as long when I'm shooting the hitmen here. Okay, so I'm going to go use karma and then attributes and nope, skill, firearm. So in order to boost stats here, like 1 for 1, and now in order to boost firearm again, I got to have 2, and that'll push it to 3. And yeah, so these other attributes, body and stuff, to boost those, I need to have 3. And then 4 in consecutive, so on. So as I said, I could progress the game, however, it's just I wouldn't survive the next section, so I gotta get somewhere. And generally what I like to do is sort of a hitman run, that's the run I'm doing now, and then a ghoul busting run. And then last time I actually wasn't ready, so I might have to do two ghoul busting runs. Okay, so my accuracy was supposed to increase, but it's still not doing so great. And I'm gonna head back just to sleep it off again because I'm already half health. And the one guy hanging off the roof there, he's strong. Like, he'll take me out if I try to challenge that. And the preference right now is to just get that firearms up. Apparently, when I was watching other playthroughs, other people playing this, they were saying that 7 sort of is the max. However, I'm not 100% sure that's true because when I was using other guns, I was still ending up missing. Maybe it's just because of other people's armor, I'm not sure. But I will push it up to 7 and then kind of ignore it for a little while. And then once karma starts to be, you know, an extra thing, maybe I'll dump it in. So this is the guy I'm looking for mainly here. Because he drops the most money. And I gotta get up to 500, right? So for those who don't know who are watching this sort of stream or video, Shadowrun is like a tabletop game, sort of Dungeons and Dragons. That's like where it started. And apparently I heard that actually Disney bought the rights to Shadowrun. That's why we don't really see any new games or anything, which is unfortunate, right? So I'm not 100% sure if that's true. But I do believe the Shadowrun tabletop originates from Seattle, because this city that we're in the gameplay right now is actually Seattle, along with the Genesis version. There's an Xbox version that's first-person shooter. However, I'm not 100% sure if that's Seattle as well. And in the cities, corporations pretty much run everything, which is not surprising, kind of relates to, modern society that we live in these days. No karma. Okay. And you can get set on runs, generally, where you make money. You can do hits, all sorts of things. In this game, those aren't available. In the Genesis version, they are. So you can take different shadow runs where you hack computers and do hits, or sort of, what's it called, fetch quest, where you protect someone. You take someone from A to B, right, and you protect them. However, Shadowrun for SNES is different. It's linear. It's actually based on a novel called Never Cut a Deal with a Dragon, I believe. I haven't read it. I really like to, but I just don't really. Maybe someday. If I could, I might throw it in LibreVox. Oh, I don't know who's going to survive that. Okay, here we go. Yeah, I might want to do sort of a audiobook for that and put that in LibreVox. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to. Legally, I will anyways. And then if it gets taken down, it gets taken down. So, which yeah, would be interesting to read through. What inspired this? So I got 1 karma, but I can't use computer right now, and that'll show up later. I'll explain that later. So I'm just going to keep that 1 karma until it turns into 2 and up that firearm. And as for cash, right now I have 230, so almost halfway. And I suppose for this session, I'll take it all the way up to the next part of the game. And then perhaps I'll call it a day. I was hoping to get some Genesis version in today, but thinking about it, that might take a little while, right? So maybe I'll push Genesis to tomorrow. And I mean, that doesn't really mean anything for YouTube, because if someone's watching this on YouTube, they'll already be there, or yeah. And the Genesis version is very much different than this version. As I said, this is linear, right? You kind of step through the story, and your sort of missions are to just follow the storyline, whereas I guess the Genesis version is kind of too, so like there's no side quests in the Super Nintendo version, so to speak, besides getting more spells and money. Whereas the Genesis version, you can actually do shadow runs. But it is terribly difficult. The Genesis version, I remember growing up, it was so much harder. And I only had a Genesis for a little while, so I think I rented it twice, and I didn't make it anywhere. And as an adult, I picked it up maybe once or twice, and still, it's really hard. Like, even progressing the story, it's brutal. Okay, so I'm just in here to recover the health again. I believe I only have that 1 karma still. Yeah. So the karma system, as you kill enemies, right, you gain more karma. I'm not sure how many you have to kill. When I was watching other people's playthrough, apparently they had they said that specific enemies are like specific experience points, and after you reach so many experience points, you get a karma. And I believe in both games, if you kill innocent people, like if I went into the street where there's all those men walking around and I started shooting at them, I would actually lose karma, right? After killing so many of them. So I imagine the innocent people have like a negative karma value or negative experience points. So something not to do, right? Not sure if it's the same in the Genesis, because in the Genesis they kind of walk around. And I think I used to get a kick out of shooting them. Because I remember they drop money, but I seen someone else's playthrough and they said they don't drop money. But I'm pretty sure they do drop money, or you get karma. So I'm not sure if they're exactly the same. I'll have to find out. $10. Yeah, I should just go heal up. It's unfortunate that I have to keep doing this. It's the beginning of the game, right? So, and this is sort of my preferred grind. Opposed opposed to just the ghouls or running around the streets and shooting the peepholes and stuff. I remember when I was younger, I used to get stuck, and it's really just about keywords to progress the game, and I got stuck. And I used to spend about 2 days just running around this area. Being a kid doesn't really, I didn't really know what was going on. Reading comprehension is low, right? And logical progression is low, so really all you want to do is jump on Goombas' heads and shoot things, right? I've always thought this would be an interesting game as sort of a PC game because of the cursor and the way this interaction system goes. But unfortunately, there was never really a PC version. There's another karma. So there is a PC version now, but it's a different game, right? It's sort of like this one, but it's actually real-time strategy, which I'm not really into. Like, I like this system better. Real-time strategy is fine. It's like Final Fantasy Tactics, or I can't even think of any other games. Vandal Hearts, right? So I'm just going to put this into firearms, opposed to health. Maybe next I'll go with health. But for now, I'm just going to focus on those firearms. Because once I reach 3 in firearms, it'll take 3, right? So I might as well progress health as well. And then how am I doing for cash? Which I didn't really much care for picking up the newer version of Shadowrun. Apparently Armitage here is in the new version of Shadowrun. I'm not sure if Joshua is. That's who's on the Genesis version. My aim is supposed to be increased. I'm not really seeing much of an increase, but I can't see the numbers, right? There we go. So quarter health. Getting there. The money. I should be up to about 350 now. I'm just going to ignore that guy. Because I just want to get going. As I said, I don't really much care for grinding in video games, making fake money and a fake experience. But I like the gameplay, right? It's chill. A little bit of I'm almost dead, so I gotta a little bit of I'm almost dead. I can't really do any fighting right now. So yeah, a little bit of anxiety, a little bit of I don't know if you'd say fulfillment from stats and stuff without sort of real danger. It's the idea behind video games, right? Fantasy world. Just a quick save here. 0 karma. Yeah. As well, here, check the cash flow. So almost there. And I can go higher ham fists and sort of make this process go faster. And last time I did the playthrough, so what I did was like I want to get the ghoul busting, but what I'm going to do is so I'm already half dead here. Do another cash run here, just to spend ham fist 1 time. And then I'll do a ghoul bust. I might have to do 2 ghoul busts, right? Because I said last time I didn't survive the next part of the game. So I'll do 2 ghoul busts. And what that'll do is it'll give me lots of karma, allow me to boost my health and my attributes without gaining any cash. But cash at this point, after getting ham fist, things will start smoothing out. I'm doing my best not to spoil things. So instead of saying the junkyard, which I've already said, I'm just gonna say the next part of the game. But no, not much more than that. I just have a turbo controller. My controller isn't turbo. My controller is a Staltech or something. Can't even remember what it's actually called, what it registers as. So at the same time, I'll focus on money here. I might as well grab a bit of karma. Maybe I should just start ignoring these guys, right? Speed things along here. When it comes to ham fist, though, I believe it's per screen per battle. So I'm almost dead. Yeah, I'm almost dead. I gotta sleep it off. So it's per screen per battle, and after so many per screens per battle, or per battle per screens, I hate to say that, Hamfist will take off, right? He's like, I've earned my, I've earned my amount, I've earned my pay, sort of thing. And that'll be sort of the end point of the one run, cash run. So right now I'm just going to focus on that one guy on the roof, and once I get Hamfist, because it's per screen per battle, I might as well let him sort of duke it out with these guys on this side. The guy that hangs over the fence and out the window. But me right now, I'm just going to focus on this one guy on the roof. So ignore those fights. I'm actually almost there, right? I think 50 more bucks should do it. Maybe I should just start fighting that guy hanging over the... Yeah, 10 more bucks and I got it, so... One round of either of these guys will put Hamfist in my pocket, so to speak. Alright, there it is. Let's just go get Hamfist now. It's gonna go this way to avoid that corner battle. These guys generally say nothing. I will talk to one right now just to demonstrate. What do you want, punk? I'm in a hurry. I got business to attend to. You looking for some kind of donation? I gave it at the office. I gave it like you just... I don't really think they say anything. I've never known them to say anything. Right? So, yeah. And I'm not sure they... Either guys say anything different. I think they're just kind of here to take a pot shot at, and if you kill them, you lose karma, right? Would you like to buy a copy of the new Ludit? I don't even know what that says. We are opposed to the introduction of new technology, and the Corps are building computers with immense power. We aim to stop them. We must hurry before they control the world. So this guy is kind of... Must be some sort of like corner... They say paraphernalia... What are they called? Literature type salesman, newspaper guy. I don't know if he's just handing out literature or he's actually a paper courier. All right, anyway. So that's the random dudes. Right over here. Go grab Hamfist here. Got these people. Right on. Got a karma. All right, as I said... To orc. Hamfist is one screen per fight, I believe, as far as I know. I'm not sure if it's just... It is, because when I was fighting ghouls before, he pretty much never ran out. But when I was like walking around fighting between those two spaces, the guy over the fence or the guy on the roof, he runs out a lot faster. But then again, during this run, I'm going to hire him now. So now he's, okay, Budster, let's hit it. This is Budster, the thing. So during this run, I'm actually going to go hack this computer, right? And we'll find out why I can't hack the computer. This is what I've been sort of leading up to here. I wouldn't say it's like story progression, but it is kind of story progression. It's just not required story progression. Let's head in here. And there's a secretary here. I might as well talk to her, right? Is that a computer? What does it say? Oh, Hamfist, okay. Go ahead and talk to her. I'm afraid my boss is out. I'm sure I didn't have you scheduled in anyway. So, there's not much else I could really talk to her. I honestly don't know. Like, I'm pretty sure she doesn't say anything else till later. So I'm kind of not going to ruin it because she does give keywords, but not right now. Alright, so here's this computer that I can hack. And on this thing here, there's a cyber deck, right? So this is what I would use to hack the computer. Examine it here. It's a PCD 100 cyber deck. And I do believe that this is the only cyber deck in the game. I can be wrong. But as far as like the Genesis version versus the Super Nintendo version, this is actually the only cyber deck. So I'm going to go ahead and pick that up. And in the Genesis version, you can actually upgrade your cyber deck because it's a much more comprehensive gameplay in the Genesis version, which is terribly hard. However, in the Super Nintendo version, things are more linear. There's only so many computers, and this is what it looks like. So I'm going to jack in myself, error condition, and error analysis. Data jack malfunction, connection terminated, no connection established. Right? So that's what happens when I try to use it right now. So there's obviously something wrong with my data jack. And this is why I've hired Hamfist. So I go to Hamfist here, and I go examine, and it'll show me his sort of status screen, right? He's got a T250 shotgun and 1 mesh jacket. He doesn't have any magic. It won't let me see his items, or oh, he did well. Okay, so it shows me his cyber deck skills. Here's cyber. He's got a cyber deck skills, 1 firearms, 1 armed combat rather, and 3 computers. So this is generally a Decker class, right? Because his computer's 3 over his firearms, but he does have a shotgun, so he's still quite strong. Now I go into his items here, and I use his cyber deck. Examine. He's got it's an Allegiance Alpha cyber deck. Okay. So I think that's just sort of a placeholder. Like I don't think I'll be ever able to get an Allegiance whatever cyber deck, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and use this, and I'm gonna use it on the computer, right? Nastica C2309 Allegiance Alpha Control System Type 2 Network Patch Loading Central Alpha Current Security Status, and then there's a bunch of numbers and colors. Thank you for using Alpha. So this is cyberspace condition OK. And I'm like a little character that walks around here. I believe this is some sort of like starting point, right? This is the opening node. This is where I came in, sort of the door. I'm going to cross this gate here. Now what happens, as I step through these spaces, found 1 IC, right? Oh, I might bump into one, attacked by an EC. So this is a defensive sort of computer program. And what I can do is I can fry it by attacking it, by pushing, I believe, A. No, combat failed. Found 1 IC executed combat EXE, combat failed. Okay, so that drains my health a little bit. I go again, combat failed. Okay, I want to try one more time here. Okay, so I killed it, combat successful. Now I could go around and start pushing, the combat attack button on all the empty spaces just to make sure there's nothing there, but it'll drain my health. Just for example here. Yeah, see, every time I use combat, it drains my health a little bit. So generally during this part of gameplay, I just sort of step through the spaces, and then once I bump into one, I use the attack, right? And combat failed. Come on, man. Not really a great playthrough with it, because that's killing me, right? That's killing my Hamfist character. So hopefully there's nothing here. There is something there. Hopefully I can kill it. Okay, it's dead. And then what I want to do is I want to show up to these sort of ice cube looking things, and if I attack them or I use the attack button, I got to use the other button. So I use the B button here, and execute transfer EXE, data achieved. So I've pulled data out of there. If we look at the bottom left, we can see my health, and on the bottom one I have a data sort of stream. So I'm going to jump down to this one. There's no protective program here. I'm going to pull the information out of here, and then I'm done. So I got all the information. I don't have to head back to the gate. What I can do is I can push like X or Y, and then I can just jack out, right? Gluttman account numbers. So I got 1,000 new yen out of that. So already I've repaid, Hamfist has repaid that $500 plus another $500. Data file obtained. Okay. Then he kind of just slides out like he was inside the computer, right? That's a little ridiculous there, but that's just how it looks. So this is the data file here. Data file bad news. Go ahead and examine that. No sight of your courier. Word on the street is that he got to the Matrix systems just before they were permanently shut down. Drake then set a hit squad after him, Gluttman. So this is from Gluttman's computer, and that was a note to Gluttman. So this is sort of telling the story here. So something's wrong with my data jack, and I'm supposed to be on a run. I don't remember anything here. If I look at my stat screen, Hamfist has only got like half health here, so I'm gonna have to go sleep it off. And that was just from the Matrix run, right? All those missed combat executables and getting hit. So I'll sort of sleep it off. As I said, I won't be progressing the game anymore. That's sort of a bit of progression there. Right now, I'm just going to do more grinding here. Get a little bit more of my money's worth from Hamfist. And I do believe it's every time I walk into a different screen, it seems like, his sort of commitment sort of comes down. Jake, I don't want to go in there. I'll wait outside. So he's not actually going to come into the bedroom here with me. Go sleep it off here. As I do sleep, though, his health will recover. So do I have any karma? I got 1. But again, I can't use computers yet because something's wrong with my data jack. And I don't have enough for anything else. So I believe my next move will be to bring up my health, right? Body. I'll use that 3 on body, and then I'll use the next 3 after that on firearms. So karma and cash should start to flow a little faster now that I have Ham Fist. I won't have to run back to the room as much, and yeah. On my previous run, as I said, I would ignore these 2 guys, and I think that was sort of a mistake, because per screen, per combat, right? So as I go back and forth here, I'm just going to fight every battle I get into. This is the money maker here, though. 60 bucks. And at this point, I'm not too concerned about cash flow. Because I don't really have much else to buy but the Lone Star badge, which progresses the game, right? I don't really want a grenade. There's not really any point of grabbing a grenade now. I mean, it might come in handy later. Certain part of the game, there's a certain part of the game where they do kind of serve a purpose, but for the most part right now, they're just over the top sort of weapon, because they do like 10 damage, I think. And they spread out, so you can damage like 5 guys that are kind of all grouped together with 10 damage, but throwing, you know, 1 grenade at 1 guy to do 10 damage just isn't really worth it for $100, in my opinion. It just looks cool. Maybe I will buy one just to show it off, because it does kind of look cool. Not sure who I'm going to throw it at, though. Maybe I'll go throw it at that troll in the bar. Because, yeah, nobody really, like, sort of clutters together in this part of the game, but there are parts in the game later where, you know, there's like 3 or 4 guys kind of all standing around. So, yeah, I will blow $100 just to grab a grenade, just to show it off. As I said, I'm not sure who I'm going to throw it at, though. Maybe I'll throw it at Ham Fist. Just because he's like not a moving target, right? He probably won't be too happy about that. I'm not sure if, like, if they die, they sort of bounce back to their position, or if they're dead completely from the game, right? I can't remember. I think they actually, like, it's permadeath for them. So if they die on a run, you cannot hire them anymore. Pretty sure. If I remember correctly here. 0 fights happening now. Of course, now that I got, you know, some sort of backup, right? My encounter rate is lower. Yeah, and I'm just going to keep going back and forth here until Ham Fist is like, you know, I've earned my cash flow. As I said, it's probably per screen, per battle. Some more battles. Oh man, Ham Fist died. Uh-oh. I wasn't paying attention to his health. So I guess we'll find out if you can hire him again. I wasn't expecting that. But I'm not going to say. What I'll do is I'll just kind of reset the game, because I do need him to continue the game. The Jamaican, I can hire the Jamaican, but I'm pretty sure he's like 1,500, and I just don't have that kind of cash. Plus he's a mage, and I want the orc. I want the Decker. I mean, Deckers are weak, but he's got the shotgun. And I believe the mage has a fireball. And I'm pretty sure his MP runs out, right? So... oh, he's there again. Interesting. But still, that's a waste of $500, right? So I just have to... yeah, I can hire him again. Interesting. So that sort of proves that point here. And I can reset... I could just die, right? So let's do that. Waste of money here. 1,700. 170 is probably all really I made. So I gotta keep an eye on Ham Fist's health too. Being a little bit, how you say, selfish there, right? Pay the price. I want to get my money's worth out of him. My new yen worth. 1 here. So how much money am I down here? Yeah, I'm down about $100. So it looks like I'm short a run-ish. So he probably died on this run, man. I imagine it's possible. That's exactly what happened. Just gotta keep an eye on his health, that's all. So I say either of us, when they fall down to half health, head back. I could check on his health by using the status screen there. Looks like they're aiming for him over me. I mean, he is a bigger target, right? Maybe because he, no, it seems like that guy just got shot there. Maybe whoever's in front? I don't know. I don't know what the AI is doing here. Not gonna pretend like I do know. Nice. Nice! One hit kill there. Okay, get out of the way, man. Trying to get my money here, man. In the way, man. Too close, man. This roof guy's not coming back a lot. That was fast. Just gotta check on his health, eh? Yeah, he's doing okay. Once he gets down to 15, I'll go sleep it off. I always gotta run up a little bit to get this guy in stream. A bit of an annoyance. I wonder if the designer did that on purpose. Oh, that was fast. Oh, there's another one. Yeah, we need to sleep it off here. Both of us have health, right? And I think I got 2 karma. He doesn't want to come in. Let's hit up the bed here. 2 karma so far? Yeah, just 2. 1 more here. We can boost the health. I'm not sure it'll reduce the frequency of having to sleep it off because Hamfist still only has half health. So even though my health increases, it's really up to how many times he gets hit that I'll have to run back. Because it looks like they're engaging him first because the AI in the computers, just like the video game itself, the AI, they're targeting each other first. Because as soon as I step in the room, it's like automatic fight between the Hitman and Hamfist. So he's getting shot first, right? It's not until I think I start shooting the Hitman that the Hitman changes to me. So I just gotta watch out. Keep an eye on Hamfist's health there. Well, that time it looked like it hit me first. A little bit of an unfair advantage with the AI computer. I remember growing up, we always used to call it the AI or the bad guys, right? The computer, right? I totally forgot about that. I'm gonna go play the computer. Right? You need to do like a Duke match or Halo 1 player, sort of just a death match, right? To go play the computer. Man. Getting hit harder. Getting hit harder by the computer. Oh, yeah, okay, so how's this guy doing? He's a little low. I'm just gonna go sleep it off anyway. And then I'll go back to fighting the computer. Is it trippy to say that? It's been a while since I said that. Nowadays, everybody says AI or pathfinding or... I don't know. Back in the day, growing up, though, it was the computer. The karma, there's that karma. I might as well go use it now, right? I'm right there anyway. Get it out of the system and into the player. I start remembering to use the shoulder buttons here. That's another thing that changed too a little bit is shoulder button. I don't know if anybody really says that anymore. Because now it's like bumper, right? So I'll go ahead and boost the body here. So that gives me 40 health points, right? Or hit points. I'm not sure if this game specifically says what the definition is. It just says body, so body points, I guess. Stamina points. So in the menu here, it says body 4, right? And then here it says stamina 40, so. But in classic RPG lingo, it's HP, right? HP either stand for health points or hit points. Some funky Marshall Parker music here in the back. It's getting a little repetitive, honestly. I really like the music from The Matrix. Interesting organs and stuff. Organ play. Nothing there. So I really like Marshall Parker's stuff overall. He also does MechWarrior. What else does he do? I can't even remember off the top of my head. MechWarrior and Shadowrun. I believe he does not do the Genesis version though. You can really tell by listening. It's not the same composer. He does a couple other things. I just can't remember what they are, you know. I'm sure he does both versions of MechWarrior. Because there's MechWarrior for the Super Nintendo, which is first person and you sort of build your mech. It's been a while since I played that. Thinking about it, I kind of want to play that now. Too far away here. He does the music for that. And he does the music, I'm pretty sure, for the 3050 version, which is not first person. It's like top down. And I've always liked the original version better because it's more sort of adventure-based, RPG-based. Oh yeah, he's like way down health. So let's go sleep it off for Ham Fist. He's down to like 12 bucks. 12 bucks, 12 stamina. You know, I can't really think off the top of my head what else Marshall Parker has. I just know that I always appreciate his music. Okay, so I have a feeling Ham Fist is going to dip soon. He's going to take off. What am I at now? 320. So even though he's already like pretty much made his money's worth and then some, still see if we can hit that 500 mark, right? And as I said, there's no real goal here as far as money goes because I already have like 1,300. All I really have to do is purchase Ham Fist services again. I guess that's why it would be great to get the 500 back on top of the 1,000. I can reach this guy right on. I do have to hire him 2 more times, right? Before I can progress the game. So this is mostly ground. There it is. It's time for me to leave, Jake. I think I've earned my money. So he's Odie. I think he's gotten me up to what, 400? Let's see here. 360. So on top of the 1,000 that he pulled out of the computer, he's also put 360 on top of that. Plus the karma. So worth it? Not really. Comparing like if there was no computer there, he would have only pulled in 360. Alright, so I'm still not progressing through the game right now. I'm wondering if fighting in other rooms might be more lucrative. I doubt it though. Because if I went in another room and there was 4 guys in the room, they'd all drop 20 each, right? But then I'd have to constantly run back and forth. I don't know. No ifs, ands, or buts. Just continue through. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go hire Ham Fist again. And this time it's working on karma, right? So that's the skill points there that help me boost my stats. In order to do that, I'll probably hit up the crypt now. So we're gonna go see another part of the game here. Explored most of the map. Except for the bar and the crypt, right? Or the crypt, is it called? Graveyard? Right? Okay, so at this point though, I'm actually going to take a quick BRB and you. Alright, back at her and doing a quick mic check sound test here. Mic check sound test. Quick mic check sound test here. Mic check sound test. Mic check sound test. Okay, I can't hear them. Video game audio. I'm just gonna wait for that to Die down. Yeah, it's there, just pretty quiet. It looks reasonably loud. Of course, when I talk, it ducks, right? Just gonna take a quick look. See if there's anything I can do for it. Make sure it's not turned down too much here. I don't know. It's fine. It's fine. I talk a lot, so... I will reel in my duck, though, I guess. Release... Let's go to 250. I have it set to like 358, so I'll bring that in to 250. I'll go 200, and then the music will bounce back faster. Okay. But I'm still really, really cutting into the music. Just fine. Alright, so... Going the second round, ham fist here. And yeah, we're gonna do some ghoul busting this time. So, just gonna remember, always with the trick. Okay. Oh, let's gotta get this. Computer's on my lap here. So okay. Get the ham fist again here. Hiring, still 500, which is great. Okay, so time for some ghoul busting. Boost my stats here. I'll only make the trip back and forth if I have to, really. Okay, so in order to get in here, I think it just opens. Yeah, okay. Except I gotta be out of the way, right? Otherwise it hits me. Okay, so there's a dumpster guy here. He's dead. 20 bucks. It's a woman. What's she doing? Oh, I'm in her way. Okay. I thought she was trying to get into the cemetery here. Alright, so it's time for some ghoul busting. So the ghouls mostly come for me. I just kind of got to stay out of their way because they will drain my health like crazy. And I realized last time I was playing this, my last playthrough, that there's only so many ghouls. And they all have their specific spawn points. And if you go back to those spawn points, they tend to pop up, right? Nice. Okay, as well, I might as well clear... I'll clear the screen first, and then I'll go check out the crypts. Doing pretty good so far. Oh. You can see someone yelling, calling for help there. It's a fast runner. Okay, so this guy should pop back up again. Just gotta wait for him. There he is. Nice. See, like 2 karma already, and it hasn't even been like a minute and a half. Dead. Just insta-dead. I wouldn't really say dead because it was kind of already dead, so insta-exploded. There's one more right here. Man, Hamfist is really getting his money worth right now. There's a person calling for help again. So I'm sure I cleared the screen now. I'm sure that's all the ghouls. Maybe 1 or 2 left. There's one more right here. Must have killed them already. Yeah, it looks like I've cleared the screen. Okay, so I'm gonna go break into these crypts here. If I attempt to open it, something sharp could open the lock here. If I go open, the door is locked. Jump into my inventory here, and I want to use this scalpel here. A very sharp instrument here. Go use crypt door, and it opens from the inside, right? So open here. Help. So here we got Shaman Man here. If I attempt to talk, or if I look at him, it says, he is in great pain. He cannot speak. Open up the menu. So that it only gives me that examine. So back right at the beginning of the game, I was in that fridge in the morgue there, and there was that slap pack, right? Slap patch. So I'm going to go ahead and use that examine. This is a healing patch. So I'm going to use that on the shaman guy here. Indian shaman, which is sort of wrong, right? Because I do believe this is Native American, right? I don't even know which sort of clan or band he'd be from. If this is Seattle, I don't even know. It's not Cree or Dene or anything like that. It would be like something like Sioux or Blackfoot, right? And Indian is an improper term for this person, unless he's from India. I could be wrong there too. Maybe he is from India. Right? But apparently I'm pretty sure this is actually supposed to be like a Native American sort of Sioux or Blackfoot or Coyote. It says Coyote, so I'm not sure. Anyway, cough, cough, Drockman, you saved my life. Chrome Coyotes, the name. Shamanism's my game. You must have the gift too, huh? Eh? Must be Canadian. Only a shaman could hear me calling to the spirits. A little keepsake for you, man. Take this magic fetish. Put here. The power calls. Go to him. I'll just go through the list here. Dog. Your totem calls to you. Appease his wishes and he will serve you well. Firearms, grinder, heal, hiring. So I'm not sure if I see that Coyote later. I think he might be like a hireable character. Star. Magic fetish. I see a need for it in your future. He who seeks it is a bearer of untruth. So a little bit of foreshadowing there for the story. And that was from the magic fetish he gave me. So he gave me some sort of amulet, right? Negotiation. I'm just going through the list here. Let's make sure I cover everything, because I'm pretty sure there's one other thing he talks about. It's a dog. Magic fetish. Shaman. There we go. If you be a true shaman, you are the one with the earth. She provides the power for your magic. I don't even know what kind of like syntax that is. As far as like speech pattern, right? Power calls go to him, but then again, I don't know any Native Americans from Seattle, so I don't know how they talk. Yeah, so that's it. Alright, so that's it for, what was his name? Oh, doesn't say. Coyote something. And he sort of disappears into a puff of smoke. Alright, so at this point here, I got these crypts, or these sarcophagi here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to examine the tops here. And when I do that, I'm going to get one of two things. I'm going to get a pile of money or a ghoul. And I do believe that you can only examine them once. So this one was a ghoul. And now that ghoul has popped up, it'll never produce anything ever again. Even if I went and left the room and come back in, as far as I know. So I'm just going to go ahead and do the rest of them here. Another ghoul. Either way, money or karma, right? It's fine. I'm happy with either. I have to keep examining. So there's some money. And I believe this is the same as last time. So it must be like specifically programmed. It's not random. Whereas those first three will always be ghouls and that last one will always be money. So if I went back in and I tried again, right, to get that money again, it wouldn't happen. No matter how many times I searched the coffin lid. And then neither would there ever be a ghoul again, right? To my understanding. Yeah. So once a crypt or sarcophagi has been looted, that's it, so to speak. So I'm not sure who's making that sound effect. It must be the ghoul making that sound effect, which is interesting. And there's the ghoul bone. So this ghoul bone here is another one of those items that we need to create spells, right? So examine here. A bone of the living dead. And when you examine something and it makes that sound, it's sort of like a hint that this is going to be an item that you require for a spell. So I'm just going to continue here. Crack open another crypt. And same thing, all I'm doing with these last couple ones is just sort of looting the coffins. As awful as that sounds. But I mean, it's a video game, right? There's no real disrespect here, in my opinion. It's just a video game. I mean, I'm shooting the living dead here. So, if there's any sort of disrespect, there's no real people. These ghouls never really lived a life. It's not really a thing. Scary ghoul. Who's coming for me? He'll pop back up. If there's really any disrespect, like, this is supposed to be a ghoul in that window. You see the corpse sort of hanging over. in my opinion, if there's any sort of disrespect, because it's not really undead. So this is really just a corpse, right? So that, right? So if there's any real disrespect, that's probably there. If it were moving, it would be a different story. Then it would be a ghoul. But logically, because it's not moving and it's hanging out a window, it's really just a corpse. And how the corpse got like hung on the window, draped over the window like that is anybody's guess. I never noticed the ghouls made that sound before when you killed them. Yeah, they all do that. Which is interesting. Let's clear the screen here before I head into the next crypt. Whoa. And I'm not pussying out here. If these things touch me, they'll just keep running into me and my health will drain incredibly fast. That's why it's such, you know, a great help to have this Shadowrunner with me. Because whilst I'm sort of running away, he's still taking pot shots at it, right? If it were just me, it would be so much harder to kill these things because they'd keep falling back into the ground and I'd have to keep re-triggering it, maybe getting in 1 or 2 shots. And yeah, if they do touch me, it's like, I wouldn't say instant death. It is possible because they just drain health so fast. Like, it's crazy. Just go ahead here and get some money. $50-ish. Oops. Okay, so I don't want to examine Hamfist. I'm going to examine the coffin lid there. So that was a ghoul. It's probably another ghoul. Yeah, another ghoul. Okay. So that room's clear. Wonder if leaving the area of the game refreshes those crypts. I doubt it. This is like Super Nintendo was really sort of linear programming, right? There wasn't a lot of procedural generation. There wasn't a lot of replay value in the games. Like, I mean, besides the general story and stuff, there wasn't anything that was really randomized, right? Not a lot of procedurally generated caves. Those didn't really become popular until like the 32-bit age, right? I could be wrong. I imagine I'm wrong. I imagine there's probably 1 or 2 games that had sort of that procedural generation replay value. I just can't think anything off the top of my head. Even just random sort of random encounters in RPGs are one thing. Like random sort of dungeons, like Diablo. What else would be procedurally generated? Elite for Nintendo, right? We never got that in North America. Turtle Island, we never got that in the Americas, so to speak. I prefer to call it Turtle Island. So, ooh, yeah, almost got me there. It's funny, it doesn't hurt Hamfist. So yeah, Elite was like a procedurally generated galaxy, right? So think like No Man's Sky, right? Those who don't know what Elite Dangerous is, nowadays it's Elite Dangerous. It's the Elite version that's out. So Elite was actually the original, I think it was part 1. Was it part 1? Was actually available for the Nintendo Entertainment System, and that's pretty incredible. It was line art vector work. For the most part, if I remember correctly. I don't think it was until Elite 2 that they started to fill in the vector work, but just the concept of having a procedurally generated galaxy every time you played it on Nintendo, like the Nintendo Entertainment System, is pretty incredible. Another game I wish I had once I was growing up would have been Arena. Elder Scrolls Arena. Well, it's shades. I don't want the shades. That would have been pretty cool. That's like Doom for RPGers, right? So just to know, I would have really wished I had played that back in the day. And it wasn't common. What was I examining? Oh, it's just the lid. Okay. It wasn't a common thing. Like, I don't remember anybody playing it growing up. Even the kids that had PCs. It was Might and Magic and stuff, I think, and like EverQuest and I don't know, just ROMs and emulators. But like even PC games, Final Fantasy VII, Halo, like nobody, that wasn't the same sort of generation. I guess it would have been more Doom, right? when Doom came out. That probably would have been around the same time as Bethesda's Arena. And that game as well is procedurally generated. I might play that on stream sometime. I'd like to. I'd actually love to play that game on stream sometime. I have wrapped it. Like, I have actually beaten the whole game. I did, once you get to know like a game and you figure out like where sort of the exploits are, right? Like cheating, like MechWarrior, the original MechWarrior for Super Nintendo. The exploit for me was just to get a particle cannon and sort of a heavily armored mech with some nice jump jets, and then just kind of jump backwards, flying through the stage and just unloading the particle cannon into the enemy mechs. And that was generally the exploit for me. And I beat the game like that. Like, that's when you're young, you don't really, you're just excited that you could say you had the bragging rights. Oh yeah, I beat that game. So there wasn't a lot of gameplay there. And Arena, for me, it was sort of the same way, the way I played it. I mean, I fought most of my way about halfway through the game, and then I got sort of block remove or like a pickaxe, right? And it's a little bit like Minecraft. It's a little bit voxel based where you can just hack through walls, right? And you get to your destination, and it had a map. So if you look at your map and you're trying to get from A to B, you're trying to get to, the next stairs to the next level, but there's this massive sort of dungeon, this labyrinth in the way. You can just use a spell to rip down part of a wall, dig a hole, go underneath. Like, I cheated my way through it, to be honest. Wouldn't say cheated. I used an exploit, because cheating would be using a code or a real cheat code, right? So I just used an exploit to make most of the way through. I made it about halfway through. It is an interesting game, though. Lots of story, lots of storytelling, lots of dialogue. A little repetitive for the enemies. Great dungeons, though. Like, the dungeons were pretty huge. I'd say like a Doom, maybe like 3 Doom levels per dungeon at least, which is pretty substantial. Pretty much a long gameplay. So I've cleared the screen here. Just going to refresh the ghouls here. But yeah, Arena would have been amazing to play as. I don't know if I would have played it, even if I did see it. Maybe I did see it as a kid and I just ignored it because I thought it was Doom. But I wasn't really into first-person video games like wizardry and stuff, the dungeon crawling. I never really much cared for that. For me, it had to be top-down, like Zelda, Final Fantasy. Like, I can't believe how much time I spent playing Final Fantasy. Just like turn-based combat is just so boring now. As an adult, it's just like, why am I wasting my life on this? I think the last game I actually played that I really got into and spent the time doing turn-based combat was Final Fantasy III Japanese with a translation patch. And I made it all the way to Pandemonium, and then I sort of lost my save state. I mean, it's probably still on a floppy disk somewhere. I remember I used to back it up to a floppy disk just because I always used to go through computers so fast, Frankenstein computers, and yeah. So I made it up to Pandemonium, which is it's like the last level, I think, second last level. And it had some pretty serious characters. It's a pretty amazing game for a Nintendo game. It's a shame we didn't get that as well in the Americas. The Turtle Island. Growing up, but at that time too, it was so hard for me to get video games. I mean, I probably would have gotten it anyway, I feel, but I wouldn't have gotten it right away because Final Fantasy was a game that really fell on my lap. My aunt said, I found this game or whatever, and it was just this Nintendo cartridge that was like masking taped together. It was like duct taped together. It was like that white tape, right? It's like a papery tape. I think I might even hockey tape. I can't exactly remember, but the cartridge was cracked open for whatever reason, and she gave it to me, and I didn't know what it was. And that was sort of like my first, not really my first experience with Final Fantasy, but my real first playthrough with the original Final Fantasy. However, my first experience was I was given to a babysitter, where like my mom had gone out for some reason grocery shopping or whatever, and this dude was like left to babysit me. And he had rented a couple games from, like, we had this place called Northlander growing up. It was like a video arcade place. Not a video arcade place. It was just like a video store, your video games and your movies. And yeah, he had rented a couple games, and one of them was Final Fantasy, and for the life of him, he couldn't figure out what to do. I just remember him hanging out in the throne room for a while, and then walking around the world map. And then he just switched games. I can't remember what he switched to, but I remember it vividly because I was like, you know, ever cool. It's a, you know, medieval game. It's really top down. It was my first time kind of seeing something like that. At that point, I must have been like maybe 5, 4, 6, and seeing an RPG, top-down RPG, JRPG, they call them now, for the first time was like, what is this? You know what I mean? Because all I had seen at that point is something like Super Mario Brothers, right? Jumping over holes. So the concept for me is like, you know, it's a storytelling game, which was super interesting because he kept talking to the king and the queen and all the people. The queen, there was no queen, right? He kept talking to the king and all the people. And yeah, so that was sort of my first experience with Final Fantasy, the original. And then, as I said, my aunt had brought me this bandaged cartridge, which contained Final Fantasy, and that was when I really started to kind of get into it. I don't remember the first time I picked up Dragon Warrior, to be honest. However, I do remember playing that just as much as Final Fantasy, because I didn't have a copy of Final Fantasy. I'm not sure what happened to my taped up copy. I do remember playing Dragon Warrior so much. And I remember it being like super hard. Not so much part 2. I remember I had my hands on part 2 a couple times, but I only made it up to the princess. I never got past, you know, when the princess is a dog and you got to use the mirror to switch her back to her human form. I remember that tower, and it was just so hard for me as a child that I couldn't beat the tower. So I never did make it past. You know, I got the prince, but I never did get the princess. And then later, when I was an adult, I did get the, I still have, right? I got all the cartridges, right? And discs. My crazy collection, half of them are scratched and in terrible condition, but they're there. Yeah, so I still have like a lot of these games. Dragon Warrior 2 for Game Boy is really where Dragon Warrior 2. Is it 1 and 2 together? I think it's 1 and 2 together. Or was it just 2? I don't know, I have it somewhere. I think it's 1 and 2 together in one cartridge. Did I kill it already? Must be dead already. So yeah, that's when I really got into it. And so then my fiance at that time, she was really into part 2 as well. Got her hooked on the Dragon Warrior. So apparently Dragon Warrior came out before Final Fantasy and inspired Final Fantasy. And growing up, Dragon Warrior to me was always that knockoff of Final Fantasy. It wasn't until I was an adult that I learned that it's the other way around. It was really just because like the party, the whole party thing, like you have 4 characters in Final Fantasy, right? And in Dragon Warrior 1, you only get 1. So to me, I was like, oh yeah, Dragon Warrior is just, you know, a ripoff of Final Fantasy because you really only get 1 character. But little did I know it was the other way around, right? Eventually in Dragon Warrior 2, you get, what, 3 characters, right? And then in Dragon Warrior 3, you get sort of a guild system, right? Ooh, he's fast. So you just can kind of cycle through. I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure there's like non-playable story characters that join your party, part 3. At this time, 2024, I believe they're actually doing a remake of, it's a 2D, 2.5D HD remake of Dragon Warrior 3. So that's interesting. And they're promising that they're going to redo 2 and 1, which would be great. And as I understand it too, the person that did the artwork for Dragon Warrior series was actually the same guy that did Dragon Ball, right? And what else? He did quite a few very famous artists who recently passed, right? So rest in peace. I can't remember his name though. Akira, I think. I'm so totally botch a Japanese name, so I just remember his name is Akira. But yeah, he did lay artwork for the Dragon Warrior sort of marketing art, except for the cover art, which is interesting. So the American cover art is different from the Japanese cover art, and even though like the sprites in the game and stuff were made by Akira, I'm not even sure who did the like cover art and the box art, the promo art, the marketing arts in the American version. And I really like that art. Honestly, I'd kind of prefer that over the Japanese art. as far as, you know, the game cover and the instruction, the marketing stuff. I think my instruction manual might have been... Was I shooting with my finger? Anyway, yeah, so that may be an unpopular opinion, but I really liked the original Dragon Warrior box art, and I don't know who did that. In fact, it kind of, the dragon from part 1 kind of haunted my dreams a bit. It's got like this really creepy, undragon-like face, more of just a really slender face on it, untraditional of a dragon's face, really. And then there's that knight that's sort of like spinning around, and yeah, so it's a really nice cover. And then I've seen the Japanese artists, you know, it's really cartoony, and that's just generally why it's more semi-realistic, the American version. Like, I mean, it'd be amazing if the whole game was like that, but Dragon Warrior itself was sort of Akira's artwork, right? All the Drakies and the slimes and everything, that was all Dragon Ball Z artist work, so to speak. And I actually did a little bit of research trying to figure out who did the cover for Dragon Warrior, and I couldn't find a name. I was almost at the time when Akira did pass, when he died. But he was really, you know, saying their prayers and stuff and saying their goodbyes, and it really pushed the artwork and stuff to the forefront from Dragon Warrior. And I was kind of like, hey, you know, so who did the American work? And I never did find out. But I'd love a t-shirt of that. That would be an amazing t-shirt, the Dragon Warrior 1. 2 would be fine too, but 1... Same with that dragon in part 2. When you the first loading screen of Dragon Warrior 2, that dragon that's holding that orb, right? That's such a nice piece. Oh, he got me. So I haven't been getting hit at all, I mean... Yeah, neither has Hamfist here. And as I said before, it does feel like Hamfist is really going, like he's non-stop. I feel like maybe he's gone longer than previous time. And it could also be because of the Matrix run too, right? Maybe the Matrix run also counts towards sort of his time with me, which makes sense. Oh, just a boat. Some spam in the email. What happened there? I didn't push that button. Oh. Maybe my USB was loose a little bit. So I did not push that button. Or my controller is whack. Ancient controller I got from Value Village. It works though. I got 2 of them. I got one with a couple analog sticks, and then I got sort of a classic 8 buttons D-pad controller. And I also got like a Bluetooth thing somewhere. I think I even threw that one out just because, yeah, it's garbage. I wanted it for playing on my Android. I bought like, I don't know, years and years ago, but I never did end up using it. It didn't connect, and, you know, setting your phone and having a wireless controller on the side just doesn't, it's not that great. Not big on a gamer. I'm not a big gamer, man. Just do it to relax and take my mind off the world, really, and then resort to alcoholism or marijuana. It's a bit different when you're a streamer now, though. You gotta constantly talk. I feel like it's a little more stressful. I gotta constantly turn ideas and talk about things I was thinking about, express my opinions and stuff. And I'm subjective. I'm totally subjective in this sort of these streams because they are my streams, and yeah, this isn't any sort of documentation. This is just me relaxing and talking about what's on my mind, right? And chatting with whoever comes through. Right now, my channel's still quite small. As I said, I don't really foster it, so yeah. But Mega Dave did come through, which is great. It's always great to have someone come through, say hi or whatever, listen to my rambling, check out what's going on, what I got going on. I did send him a Facebook message though first. I was like, hey bro. But he did say that, you know, if you're streaming, I'll drop by if I can. Which is great. because I do need people to come through and chat, and I need to get numbers and stuff before I can get affiliate, which would be great. I'd love to live off of playing video games. I mean, I wouldn't like to be my main source of income. It would be great if it would be, but I'm just not full gear gamer. I'm a musician, mostly at heart. But if I can make, you know, a living off of playing video games, all the power to me. As long as I'm keeping healthy, exercising, I'm okay with it. That's really what's important to me, is making real money, you know, having real experiences and staying healthy, because video games are sort of an unhealthy hobby as far as just sitting there for hours on end, especially if you don't take breaks and stuff. So there is a healthy way to do it, but like just fake money, this sort of situation, grinding, me talking to myself, it's a necessity of the games, but it's the same thing over and over, and it's not really interesting. I mean, without anybody to talk to here, I'm just really talking to myself and doing the same thing over and over, running away from ghouls. Another one. Whereas I could just, I guess, grab a Game Genie code and just, you know, max out my karma. But I guess it's killing time, right? That's really what it's about. It's killing time. But there's a point when grinding is just too much. So maybe later in the game, once I get to the end, the very end, I might just plug in the Game Genie and grab like a karma code and money code and then just beat the game, because I don't want to grind forever. Like, this is strategic grinding and it's still taking hours, right? And it's just the same thing over and over. I'm actually not that bored. I'm actually kind of talking to myself here, turning ideas and stuff. Kind of lost track of anything interesting to talk about besides myself, really. So I can talk about what I'm cooking tonight. I'll be doing a sort of like butternut squash spaghetti with vegan ground beef and sort of tomato juice. So yeah, I'm pretty poor right now. Gotta make what I can. It's all good. I'm pretty inventive when it comes to cooking. I have a bit of a passion for cooking. I just don't like doing it commercially. I always get lots of compliments and stuff about my cooking, and it's just because I put that TLC in it. And that's really what matters in cooking, is if, you know, you're keeping your hands clean, no cross-contamination. I don't necessarily mean cross-contamination by raw meat, right? Bacteria and stuff. I mean cross-contamination by flavor. So isolating your flavors and, you know, comprehending your flavors, watching your salt ratios. Watching your salt ratios is terribly important. Having to add salt to a dish is an insult. No pun intended. It is just, I mean, there's an amount of salt that's great. I usually do, I think, a teaspoon per 3 cups of water is a perfect brine for me, but that's a little bit salty, right? I like flavor. However, any more than that, or, you know, less than that, if you got flavor properly, if you got the right ingredients, great ingredients, you shouldn't need a whole lot of salt. You should be able to enjoy a meal where things are full flavored. So if you're using peppers and barbecue sauce and, you know, chicken, good cuts of chicken, then you shouldn't need salt. I mean, you can brine your chicken if you really wanted to, which makes things taste, again, amazing. Even stocking the chicken, right? So again, that's not salt. Stocking your chicken using 1 part garlic powder, 1 part onion powder, and 1 part seasoning salt into sort of a brine, instead of a brine, in water, and boiling your chicken in advance, that it infuses flavor right into the meat, right? Which is amazing. And then, you know, doing a barbecue sauce and peppers, bell peppers, maybe a bit of garlic, fry, you know, barbecuing that, burning that, you know, caramelizing that barbecue sauce, doing everything right. You don't need salt. That's really my point. When you're at that point and you know how to cook properly, you're paying attention to things, right? So yeah, that's my 5 minutes of cooking tutorial. Whilst I battle some ghouls. And there's different types of undead creatures, right? So ghouls specifically, I think, are flesh eaters, right? They're like cannibals. And then there's a ghast, I believe, which is like sort of a ghoul too, I think. Ghast. Right? And then there's what? Ghast, ghoul, specters. What else is there? There's one more I'm thinking of, but I can't think of the name. Ghoul, ghast. Final Fantasy's got a whole bunch of them. The original, and they're all like the same artwork, just palette swapped, right? I wonder who did the art for Final Fantasy 1. It's interesting to consider, because like I know so much about who did the artwork of Dragon Warrior for like the actual in-game artwork. So who did all those graphics for Final Fantasy, right? Considering too, is it a progressive thing? Like, is that same artist across most of the Final Fantasies? Is it a pixel artist, right? Final Fantasy 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, all those static graphics. Is it the same artist? I imagine it's like a group of artists, right? Sort of like Squaresoft Club, the Konami Club. We got like sort of Squaresoft artists. Because I know the most famous artist really that comes out of Squaresoft is the one who did sort of the marketing work for Final Fantasy 6 or Final Fantasy 3 US, right? And he's pretty famous, but I don't know if he did really any of the work for sort of those static graphics, right? Not something I'm going to look up on my own, off stream or whatever. Just something to ponder, I suppose. Something to talk about, really. Even though I don't have the answers. Is this guy coming back? Is he dead? Must be dead. Oh, he's back. Dead. He's undead. He exploded, more or less. Exploded. No, still going. Wait for him. Getting a little closer. Okay, so like I said, I'm just going to keep going until the orc leaves, right? And then I got to do another round of this. Perhaps I'll progress the game, just so it's not so uninteresting of a video. And then I'll come back and I'll do one more ghost run before moving on to the next part of the game. So I'll finish this ghost run, and then I'll progress the game up to the point where move on. And then I'll come back here and I'll do another ghoul run. Another ghoul busting run. And then I'll progress the game and call it a day. Alright, so back to more ghoul busting here. I imagine Hamfist is going to be leaving soon. I'm pretty sure I've almost got my fill out of him. As far as screen battles and stuff. See, I don't really know what the indicator is. Maybe it is like when you do the Matrix, or they call it the Matrix, but I'm not sure it is the Matrix. Cyberspace? Cyberspace is in the Matrix, right? So I can call it either, I guess. Matrix run. Cyberspace run. I prefer cyberspace run because Matrix feels like one system. In all actuality, a Matrix is one system, right? So like you're in the Matrix of, say, ABC Company, or you're in the Matrix of Acme Company. No, specifically, the whole Matrix isn't considered the Matrix, in my opinion, or my understanding. It's not really an opinion, it's just my understanding. Because a Matrix is just a set of computers, right? That's generally where it comes from. To put it into perspective, the Matrix movie, right? Their Matrix is the sort of robots. The robots computer, right? Robots computer. So that's their Matrix, the Matrix. However, if there was another computer system, like, I don't even know what they're called, right? The actual people that break out. I think there's a word. They have a name for themselves. The people of Zion, right? The people of Zion. So their computer systems, if they have, their own isolated, air-gapped computer systems, networks and stuff, their Matrix would be different from the computer's Matrix. Whereas Matrix definition is really just a set of switches, and I'm sure, right? To my understanding, to my knowledge, matrix is just a set of switches, and one switch is actually called a matrices. Matrices. Whereas like one data is called a datum. Right? One matrix is called a matrice. And of course, there's never really an application for those singular words because almost everywhere these systems are deployed as multiple components. Like matrix, matrice, there's, you know, you could call a light switch a matrice, I guess. Right, I'm gonna go turn on the light using this matrice. Matrice? I'm not sure. I'm just spitballing now. Filling the empty air here. Should still be there. There it is. And I can't remember how I got on that topic. Oh, the matrix runs, right? So when sort of the hired Shadowrunner, when they do a matrix run or a cyberspace run, perhaps that contributes to, like, it contributes a large portion to the time they are, you know, hired for. As well, I'm not sure if, you know, being in a singular screen, fighting multiple ghouls here, multiple enemies, only counts as one, right? Because that's what I was considering last time. Or if it's a timer. Maybe it's a timer, but I feel like he's been sticking around a lot longer than he was last time. I'm almost like ready to just pack it in because it's taken so long. Find out soon. Actually, I remember last time he did leave early, so I believe it must be the amount of time you spend in the Matrix maybe contributes to that. I'm not sure. It does feel like he's spending more time now. Sorry, there it is. Always got to move a little bit first here. Just feel like I'm the bait here for these ghouls. Pop up again. There we go. I don't even know how many karma I have. 29 karma, nice. But that's only one run, and that's gonna just disappear right away. Doing okay for health, though. I believe last time I did this, I actually drained my health. And I had to go back, because I got brave, and one of these ghouls touched me. And yeah, when they touch you, it's just like, and they just drain your health like crazy. Whereas the hitmen and stuff, and they're taking pot shots at you, it's only like every few seconds they're hitting you. Or even just a flame blast, right? I said I would grab a grenade, so maybe for the next run after I do sort of the next stage of the game, I'll go grab a grenade and throw it at one of these ghouls. It'd be nice to find more of a stationary character. Maybe I'll throw it at a dumpster guy. I'm not sure if I can reach the roof. I want to see if I'll reach the roof. Maybe waste a grenade and see if I can throw it up, right? Throw the grenade up to the guy who's sort of creeping across the roof there. Be interesting. Because I know technology like that, like a classic technology, it'll probably let me. And we'll see like how this grenade reacts to guy on the roof. Brutal. This guy's almost dead, no? Maybe I just park it here. Shouldn't regenerate now. There it is. It's gotta be close enough, right, to set the trigger. Ugh. This guy down here. Yeah, these guys are tough. Yeah, man, these guys are tough. There, got him. There's one more down here. Okay. This guy. More the grinding, not my favorite thing. Alright, moving on. Oops, see, like, sometimes I push my attack button and it pushes my inventory button. Yeah, Hamfist is sure hanging out. Alright. So I believe I cleared the screen here. Back in and out again. Got 31. Not a lot of money, right? That's the disadvantage of ghoul busting, is there's no money involved. Not even on the caskets. So once you raid a casket, that's it. Once you loot a casket. I start using a different door. I feel like every time I come out of this one, I always get pinned between these two. Ooh. I don't know if Hamfist is losing his edge or what. What happened to the instant he doesn't barely get a chance to get out of the ground and he's already dead. Let's come back. There we go. I did it this time. So at last I've ran out of things to talk about. Still waiting on Hamfist to say his piece here. Progress the game. Not sure what else to really touch on. Not a lot in the news for me right now. Not really into talking about politics or the state of economy on stream. Not a thing. I mean, music streams maybe a little bit more of, what you call it, weird stuff. I don't mind talking about weird stuff on those streams, but the gaming streams should be. There's so much in sort of the video game culture that I shouldn't have to resort to the state of the economy and politics. As far as any games that are coming up, I'm not really much of a gamer, so it's Final Fantasy VII Part 3 is coming up. I did not sit through Part 2 yet. I believe Yuffie's in there, or Yuffie, they call her now. And growing up, we always called her Yuffie. I don't know why now she's Yuffie. But I mean, it's Japanese phonetics, right? So I don't know if there's even a Yuff phonetic in the Japanese language. Yuf sounds more like it'd be available. The hard U. But then again, I'm not a linguist. And I'll probably continue to call her Yuffie forever. But yeah, Part 2 is pretty much done. People are saying another 8 years for Part 3, right? I'm not sure if Part 3 is going to be the final. It really feels like it's become more of a linear game than it was sort of open world. Because I'm not even sure if they made it out of Midgar yet, right? And then when Midgar happens, I mean, that's the rest of the game. And that's huge. I can't even remember where Disc 3 starts. Doesn't it start after Nibelheim? Right? Or after the crater? I can't remember. I think it does start after the crater, because Disc 1 and 2 are pretty much like the story, right? And then Disc 3 is the whole game, like all the locations, and then just the rest of the story. So Disc 3 is, like, it takes a lot of stress, right? That's why there isn't so much story, is because it has access to everywhere, right? Then again, I didn't program it, I don't know what data information's there. Maybe Disc 1 has the whole game on it. I doubt it though. Like, would you be able to go into the crater on disc 1? Would you be able to go into, say, Vincent's cave on disc 1 with his Zat available? Where his lady love is stashed? If I remember correctly, there's also some outer space stuff, right? That you never really get to visit again. Then there's underwater, the whole world underwater. So would you be able to go underwater in disc 1? Probably not. So the majority of the disc 1 is, right, mostly story. So it's interesting that Final Fantasy VII is, you know, these different parts. As I said, I haven't seen any of it yet. I just sat through the first part, and to my understanding, people are, I don't know, to my understanding that you have to redo it all again? I don't know. Like, it's part 1 again? Okay, here he goes. It's time for me to leave, Jake. I think I have a memory. Okay, so the take from that was 33 karma, right? 120 bucks. So I'm just gonna dip, like, I just show you how hard it is to fight these guys alone. I gotta hide behind these stones here. It's not impossible, but it's just, see, they keep popping back in the ground. Get a couple shots in, and then when they get close to you, you gotta run. And then, yeah, so I'm out of here. Like, that's it for gold busting. Go spend these these karma here, and then progress the game, progress the story a little more. Of course, my stats are still quite low. Maybe I should just run for it, right? There's no point in risking it, because that whole, you know, 33 karma acquisition, I'm not going to flush just by fighting 1 or 2 guys that can potentially take me out. And one guy will drain me down, and then I'll meet up to the next guy and he'll take me out, right? And then those 32 karma will be in the garbage. That whole run will be garbage, so just ignore that here. Save the game. Get here. I'll save game first in case I change my mind about some things. Okay, so I did say I was going to boost firearms here, and I'm just going to go back and forth. I'm not sure what anything really does. I believe strength is for shooting bigger guns, and I'm not sure what charisma does at all. So I'm just going to go back and forth between body and firearms. So body's next here. Body takes priority because firearms are at a good level. Just continuing back and forth between, oops, bugger. So I gotta go to here. Oh, just cutting it close. So I'm at firearms 7 now. And that's sort of maxed out, they say. Body 7. So I got 70 health now. Go ahead and save. I feel like that went well. So I'll go ahead and save. And yeah, continue along here. So I got a bigger health bar now. And it's time to progress the game. Okay, so I'm going to head back over here. I do have these shades, right? From this room, this sort of progresses the game. And an important article was those shades that we found here. And if you look at my status screen, we can see that Jake isn't wearing any shades. So if I put on these shades, it's sort of like the Superman effect. Nobody recognizes me, right? Which is important for... Let's head down here. I'll do it all in one swoop. Sort of all the conversations at once. So I have to go talk to the morticians. It still sounds like such a weird word. I have to go talk to the morticians, and then so the story goes that Grinder, the guy in the club here, he was trying to buy these, I don't know, bootleg scalp tickets off of Grinder to go to the cage, right? And his connection was Grinder. But he gave him the money, and I guess he was going to meet him, or Grinder got wasted by the Lone Star. So the cops kind of found Grinder, and the cops are pretty cutthroat in the Shadowrun world. So they killed Grinder for whatever reason, because he was a criminal, I guess. And so he went to the morgue, and those tickets went to the morgue as well. So the morticians have access to all of Grinder's stuff. So in order to talk to the morticians, I have to have my shades on, because that's the Superman effect. It'll disguise me, right? As well, they won't just give me the tickets, so I need to get this Lone Star badge, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and say Lone Star, 150 bucks. You want to play Rent a Cup? You want to play Rent a Cup? We's in the juice. No, we's in the juice. We's in the juice. So 150 here. Impersonating cop is risky, man. Don't get caught. And if you do, don't tell them my name. My awful Pauly Shore impression. Okay, so now I got sort of all the equipment here, and I'm gonna step through the different conversation pieces. Of course. Oh yeah, I have 7 now, right? So every one of my shots should land. And that's why I kind of doubt that 7's the top number, because I've been in battles before once I had 7 and I'd still miss once or twice here and there. So, but as I said, it could be because of the body armor. Okay, so I'm going in here. Now, if I go in here right now as is, those guys scream and run away, recall, right? I'll do it anyway, just so it's sort of a segment, right? So, ew, the zombie, and they run out. Okay, so now I leave, come back in. Now I enter my inventory here. You can see I'm not wearing any shades. I'm going to throw in these shades now. Okay, so examine, dark sunglasses. And I'll throw in the shades. I'll just put these on. If I head back to my inventory here, you can see now I have like these goggly looking shades. Let's say they're shades. Look a bit more like goggles. So then if I go back in here now, they don't scream and run away because it's sort of the Superman effect, right? So I'll go ahead and talk to this guy, this first guy up here. Mortician. Okay, so that is a word. Morticians? I don't know if that's a plural, whatever. Well, that's one more file out of the way. You wouldn't believe the number of guys fragged today. Oh, hey Larry, where's the little urn to ship number 7 in? Number 8 in, rather. I ask him anything. I can't talk to you and move my pen at the same time. Ask the other guy. And he says it's about everything, right? Ask him about Grinder, Lone Star, anything. I do believe, as far as I know. I'm not going to go through them because there's no point. I'll get what I want. He doesn't have any keywords, so I'm going to go ahead and talk to this other guy now. Go ahead and talk. I haven't got all day. What do you want? Nice shades. Do you always wear them indoors? Okay, so even he has like those round glasses. And I'll talk to him about Grinder here. No sightseers allowed. If you ain't family and you're not a badge, I'm afraid he stays with us. Okay, so ask him about tickets here. The only way you're gonna get a ticket from me, Chummer, is if I attach it to your big toe. Okay, so and Lone Star, hurry up, will ya? I can feel my arteries hardening. So that's all he's gonna talk to me about. He doesn't really talk about anything else, I don't think. If he does, it's not really that important. Yeah, no. So if I'm not a cop or family, he won't, let me see Grinder's corpse or any of his stuff or anything. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to throw in the Lone Star badge. Go examine Lone Star agent number and then a bunch of numbers. And letters. We'll go ahead and use. I'll tack that onto my pocket. Okay, so then I talk to him again. I haven't got all day. What do you want? Nice shades. Do you always wear them indoors? Okay, so now if I act about Grinder, you Lone Star boys sure did him in over good. His file and belongings are in the cabinet. Do you want me to pull his file for you? I'll say yes. He heads over to the filing cabinet here and... Hey Sam, where's the Grinder file? Try it, tested cabinet. Hey look buddy, I haven't got time at the moment. Why not look for it for yourself? Okay, so he's unlocked the cabinets here. I've never actually talked to him again after this. What now? I've got to explain to our boss how one of the stiffs just got up and left. So that was Jake, right? The ghoul just walked out the door. Sam and I made it into the closet just in time. So, I don't know if I ask him about ghoul. Oh, I don't have ghoul. Okay. Yeah, I have to go get ghoul from the bar. That's a keyword. Pretty sure the Jamaican's off the phone now. Okay, so if I open these filing cabinets here and I look inside, Universal Cred stick is in here. So I'm going to grab that. Oh, I didn't examine it. And then if I open it again, examine, there are many files here. Open up the other one here. Grinder's files here. And so are the Murray Mercurcible concert tickets. Okay, so I'm going to grab these tickets here. I'm going to examine. The tickets are to Murray Mercurcible concert. Grab those and examine again. There are many files here. Okay, and this door is always locked, right? That's it. That's the title. I wonder what he says about ghoul, though. Like, I'm not going to come back just for that keyword. It's not like it'll benefit anything. If there was anything that would really be a benefit from those guys, it would be like saying heal and getting like access to some slap packs, right? Those healing things. But of course, the businessman and the shady businessman in here, and neither of those guys, it's impossible to buy slap packs here in this part of the game. Okay. Just continuing along here. So I'm going to hit up the bar here and get some more keywords. I think it's just the Jamaican, right? No, he's still on the phone. Okay, so I have the tickets now. So that must be the trigger to get the Jamaican off the phone, is having the tickets. So I'm just going to continue the progress the story here. So we head into the bar. All right. Talk to this troll. Actually, I'm just going to give him the tickets because I've already talked to him and got all the dialogue from him. So I'll go ahead and give tickets. Heavy bouncer. Okay, buddy, go on in. Okay, so and then I talk to him again. Oh, don't do anything stupid. Don't bother me and stay out of trouble. So that's it for his dialogue, right? Head over to the bar here. It's this guy. Okay. I was here first. I always sit here. You can't make me move. You looking for someone, bub? Basketball grinder. I don't know anything. I stay alive that way. So I don't doubt he really talks about anything. As far as I remember. Yeah, no, he doesn't talk about anything. Yeah. Maybe Maria? No. So nothing, really. And I'll just talk to everybody else before progressing here. Busy man doesn't talk. Can I examine him? No. Here's the band here. So I found this interesting last time when I played through too. There's Maria, Mercero, and of course she's singing away. There's the lyrics on top. I'm not going to be singing those. And then we have Gavin the guitarist, right? And then we have Johnny the drummer, and then we have keyboardist. So keyboardist doesn't get a name here. If I try to talk to them, they're too far away. Which I got a kick out of that they named everybody else but the keyboardist. I can't talk to any of them. I can talk to the waitress here, I believe. I'll try to talk to these ones. Oh, we can. Okay, well dressed. Hey, hey, Wiz Music, don't you think? Hey, Wiz Music, don't you think? I look familiar. What kind of line is that, creep? Okay, so I'm going to just go to the list here. That's right, too. I got to make a couple phone calls, right? Because I have, what's her name's number? Susie, I think, or whatever. Yeah, so I can't hear you. The music's too loud. She's saying to pretty much everything. Okay, so I'll get out there. And then there's this guy, dancing hippie. You stay away from my girl, you hear? Don't go messing with my girl. So he's totally on about his girl, right? Man, he's like, beat it. So you gotta see. Okay. It's just a lone dancer here. Lonely gal. She doesn't say anything. And I made a joke last time about the lonely gal. Reminds me of Kids in the Hall skit. The chick from Winnipeg or there's a skit. This chick, she's dancing alone. Anyway. Waitress, what can I get you, honey? You want something or are you just gonna look all night? Okay, so then she says, you talk too much, baby. Yeah, she doesn't talk about anything. Nobody really does. There's only a few like key people who talk about things. Okay. So yeah, she doesn't talk about anything. Maria? No. Okay, let's just get out of here. She's off wandering around. There's the bartender here. It's the last sort of NPC to interact with. Club manager. Hey, what'll it be? Working here at the cage hasn't done my hearing any good. What's that you wanted? Yes, I'd ask about things. You'll have to speak up. I'm not sure he really talks about anything either. There is a keyword, I believe, that I can throw around here. I should have waited, or I might have waited for that, but I didn't. Whoa. Shadowrunners. Very few frequent this joint. The cage doesn't allow firearms inside, and the runners don't like leaving them at the door in case the trouble breaks out. The orc at the door sometimes forgets to check them, though. So, okay. So he calls the guy at the front of the door, the big guy, an orc, right? When that's, I believe, is a troll. Because he's, like, huge. And when we see orcs throughout the game, they're a bit bigger than humans, but not as big as that troll, right? Let's ask about firearms. No, you'll have to speak up. So that's pretty much it. Yeah. Cage. Ask about Maria, I guess. Relative, yeah. She's one talented lady. Just look at her move. Okay, and then the cage, nothing. Tickets. Yeah, that's it. So I'm pretty sure there's one more keyword that they'll respond to around here. However, I have to find... Oh, so here's the ghoul busting guy. This guy gives me the ghoul word here. Talk heavy, dude. Hey, plughead. You get over here. Or, hey, plughead. Yeah, you. Get over here. I want to talk to you. You know much about ghoul busting? So there's that ghoul. So I'll ask about different things. You want to say that with a fist up your nose, bug face? Sorry, just because I was talking about things. He's not really interested other than ghouls. Ghouls. Cemetery's crawling with them. You can hear him calling out to you when you walk past at night. Flashy dude I once met reckoned he could handle them for the right place. So, under... Yeah, he pretty much, that's his story, right? I'd be... What was that? Hiring. That ghoul buster wanted some pretty serious money to come ghoul busting. Way out of my league. So I'm pretty sure he's talking about the Jamaican, right? And this isn't the guy, the first guy I talked to, right? This is like a different, same sort of portrait, but different person, because that guy got wasted in the alleyway, right? What? I ain't here for the entertainment, Spug. Anyway, she ain't my type. So that was Maria. Asking about Maria. Shadowrunners. Yeah, no, he doesn't have much else to say, I don't think. It's the ghouls and Shadowrunners hiring. Alright, so... Okay, I'll progress the game right up to the point where we're done here. So examine here. I'm going to insert credit stick, so I'm just going to grab my credit stick here, use on the video phone. I don't even know how much things cost. So I got the number for Sassy. I didn't need to pick up that note. So I'm going to go ahead and just dial that. Jake, you're alive. I heard you were dead. I got myself a new boyfriend and everything. The last year's stuff was just thrown out. You're still getting calls. Tell your buddies to stop calling us. Calls. Some Glutman guy keeps calling. His number is 934-782. Okay, and then if I ask about anything else, bye Jake. That's all she talks about. So Glutman. Bye Jake. Yeah, so that's all she does. She gives me that keyword. 2 keywords, calls and Glutman, right? I don't think she says anything about anything else. I'm pretty sure this face actually gets recycled. So it's just that one chick. I'm not sure she gets recycled. That's sort of the portrait, right? So I got Glutman's number now. I'm gonna phone him. Credit stick, right? Okay, so let's call Glutman here. So this is that secretary that was in that one building that I hacked the computer, right? So that's why I didn't talk to her. She says all the same stuff, so I'm here now. So go ahead. I'm afraid my boss is out. I'm sure I didn't have you scheduled in anyway. So if I go through the list here, I honestly don't know. She mostly says, so ask about Glutman here. Mr. Glutman is out at the moment. He was going to the Cage Club. Maybe you can find him there. So if I ask about the Cage, it's a club at the edge of town. Mr. Glutman spends a lot of time there. So I believe that's it. That's all she says. I don't know everything else. My list is sure building up now. Okay, so talking to her actually triggers Glutman to appear over here. Right, there he is there. Now, he wasn't there before. If I talk to him, he's going to progress the game. Actually, if I go over here, I might be able to get some more dialogue out of these guys now. I'm not sure if they will give me any more. See, if I ask them about Glutman now. Yeah, he doesn't know anything. He might, though, I think. More dialogue. Mr. Glutman has run up quite a bill tonight. I think he's waiting for someone, so it might be me. Not sure if the waitress talks about him. He's over near the band on his own as usual. Okay, so a little bit more dialogue triggers. I doubt the bouncer says anything. Trying to be smart, Dreckhead? Is that what he says? Yeah, he says about everything. Okay. I wonder if the Ghoulbuster guy reacts to the Glutman trigger. So that's it for all the dialogue and the exploration sort of in this part of the game. As I mentioned before, this is a linear sort of game, right? I mean, most stories even in the Genesis version, is linear storytelling. It's not as if there's any newer games. I guess Skyrim kind of has sort of non-linear storytelling in some parts, like optional quests and stuff. But really, like, is there really non-linear? I guess side quests would kind of count as non-linear, right? But there's no like procedurally story-generated video games that I know of. There was a couple. Once upon a time, there was one I was following. It was a procedurally generated story thing based on Lovecraftian lore. And get a grenade here. So I'm gonna go throw this grenade at that guy in the ceiling, see if it does anything. So yeah, there was a procedurally generated story-based game where it was based on. Okay, go grenade. Based on Lovecraftian lore, and I don't know which order to go with this in. As far as talking to Hamfist first or throwing that thing, I guess I'll just do the grenade later, but I can't. I really want to show off the grenade, but the ghouls are just too fast. Maybe I'll see if I can find the dumpster guy. As much as I want to try throw it, I really want to throw it at the guy on the roof though, just out of like comedic humor. So back to the Lovecraftian game, right? So these people started a Kickstarter, and they were developing this game. I don't know any names. If I had to dig it out, I could. So they did a procedurally generated story. It was a 3D game environment, and every time you showed up to this house, right, you had a different sort of story. They got it to the point. What am I doing here? They got it to the point where, yeah, you go into the house, and every time you entered the house, it was a bit of a different story, but they didn't really execute everything. So it was still linear. Some of the conversations were procedurally generated, but it was always just this guy comes crawling down a hallway and kills you, game over. That was end that. It had so much potential, the idea of a procedurally sort of storyline, linear, but still a procedurally storyline generated game. Every time you played it, you know, you got a roll of a dice, different sort of storyline progression. And I guess these people funded their own GoFundMe or their own Kickstarter, so I think they made it most of the way, but because they got caught putting their own money into the Kickstarter shut them down, which was terribly disappointing in my opinion, because the game was, you know, interesting to me. But that's that story, yeah. So okay, so let's go throw this grenade at this guy on the ceiling, and just to see how. I'm not even sure how to use it. I think I access it from this menu. No? So what, I gotta equip it? Like, really? I gotta equip it like a gun and then throw it? Another guy over here? No. I always thought that was just like the coolest graphic, that train driving by. Okay, so here's the perfect timing here. So what do I gotta do here? Where's the grenade? Okay, so I think I actually have to do it like this, I guess. Okay, and then okay, so let's see if I can. So yeah, that's how it works. He kind of just tosses it up there. So that's the grenade. Not a big spread, but if there's like 3 or 4 guys kind of crowded around in one spot, it will sort of hit all those guys. I didn't get to see the number. Maybe it was 6, maybe it was 8, maybe it was 10. Pretty sure the lowest it can hit though was like 4. But yeah, that's a great, a single use, a bit of a waste of $100 to be honest. Maybe it's good against, you know, some of the later bosses and stuff that are stationary. But for the most part, practical use of, you know, throwing it at the hitman or wherever else, not much. And you don't really find them laying around. You kind of always have to buy them. They are, you know, sort of fun if you got the extra cash to, you know, just burn, really. Speaking of extra cash to burn, I don't really have much of any, and I gotta go hire Hamfist again before progressing the game. So I'll go hire Hamfist again, and I'll do another ghoul run here. And I pretty much cleared all the conversations that I'm going to now. Actually, there's still one more conversation, right? The Jamaican. So let's go talk to the Jamaican here. And I'm not going to do a Jamaican voice. I just don't want to. I don't feel like it's right to, yeah, sort of mimic an accent here. There will be sort of a little bit in here just because I'm reading it, right? You look like a man that needs a hand. John Gadans can cast the magic for you, man. He looks like what's his name? Bill Cosby, right? Like it's like surprised Bill Cosby. So you want to hire the power man? You want the law? Then you pay, man. You pay the money and you get the magic on your side. Okay. What, man? You make no sense. What, you want the power or not? So I believe this is the guy in the bar was talking about, right? The ghoul buster, talking about the ghouls, right? So I go through the list here and he does talk about the ghouls, right? The undead, they be no trouble to Jenga dance. Man, what? This is like everything. And I believe he is like 1500. And he's what's called a mage, right? The power be with you for 1500 Nuyen. Janganat's only trying to help you, man. So he doesn't talk about anything else. That's pretty much his only dialogue, really, as far as I know. Oh yeah, I didn't look at the magic fetish, so I'll be sure to look at that after I get out of this menu here. I probably should have looked at it. What? You want the muscle? You gotta know where to hang. Check out the downtown clubs. Okay, so that was for Shadowrunners. Shaman. Cage tickets. Yeah, so he's done. That's pretty much all he had was those 3 triggers. And that's it for the conversations here. I should be able to access this phone now, right? Yeah. There's just that one by the businessman that has their phone broken. Okay, so I gotta hire this guy. Get this guy on payroll here. Hamfist don't like you already. You best have good Nuyen if you want to hire a decker like me. So let's get the hiring happening here. 500 Nuyen. Let's go. Talking about cyberspace, I'm taking you to the graveyard, buddy. So another round of grinds. Get some more health happening. That's pretty much all it's for. Now though, my gun should hit every time, right? Apparently. Oh. Okay, one of them's gonna pop. I'm gonna probably do this one. Yeah. My gun's not as strong as the shotgun though, so he's dead. This one over here. No? It's done. These guys are tough, man. It's like sometimes they just die right away, and sometimes not so much. Sometimes I just take like 50 hits. Wait for this guy to pop up again. Just waiting for him to come back. It's gotta be close enough, right? This guy's gonna come back. So it does look like I'm hitting every time, but it's only doing like minor damage. Should pop back up. Got him. So I'm not sure if this is going to be any faster. As I said, I don't really much care for grinding, but this is just where it's at. The grind time again. Did. D-E-D. Okay. This guy's dead already. Let's come over here. Closer. There he is. Come on, Handfist. Should be faster on the jaw. It's a lot slower of a shooter than I am. So this is going to be another wonderful grind, right? Another hour, half hour of shooting ghouls, getting the karmas, talking about random stuff. Preferably video games and popular culture. Both old and new, future maybe. Avoiding politics and economics and music. Specifically like technical music conversation stuff that I'm mostly known for. Because this is more lax, right? Then I gotta do some cooking. You got me. I'm not 100% sure what strength and charisma do. I imagine charisma is probably like for talking, but later on you get like a negotiation skill. And it's supposed to drive down Shadowrunner price. Okay, I think that's all of them. I'm gonna do this, use this one, because every time I enter and exit that middle one, I get sort of blindsided. I'm gonna check these caskets again. But yeah, every time I enter and exit that top one, I get sort of blindsided, right? By those two. So keep. Yeah, no, this is. Yeah, so it looks like there's only ever one time to access those. And again, though, there's, what do you call it, the ghouls that randomly pop up in those rooms, right? So I wonder how, whoa. Oh, man. So I wonder how random those guys are. The ones in the crypt. Man, there's a whole lot of ghouls. Ugh. Slowing the computer, slow down here. Wait for this one to come back. Oh. I'm not really active. I feel like every step I take, one's popping up. Tough too. Not sure what determines the speed. It just seems like random speed. Some of them are really fast. It seems like when they were moving diagonally too, they're like super fast. And they are like up or down. Sort of lateral, right? I think that one's dead already. This one. Yeah, they do seem like a lot more responsive or something. Not sure if he's gonna pop back up. I might have to be a bit closer. Yeah, not gonna be a bit closer here. It's not close enough. When I was a kid, I always seen Jake. It looks like he's like wearing a robe, opposed to like a trench coat. It's like he's some sort of like oracle robe or something. Taking the pot shots here. This isn't a bad position. See, like when they hit you, they just they're constantly hit you. It's like a stream of hits. Opposed to just a couple shots. It's like hitmen and stuff. It's gonna take forever. It's actually really boring now. I feel like it's really boring. I've already hired Hamfist though, so I must just keep getting my money's worth. Maybe I should just look at money. But I know like in the next part of the game I get enough money. And And this is a bit faster. In fact, what I'll do is I think I'll parade sort of thing. I'll go like around this part of the city. Just because this is so boring. So I'll just hit up every sort of section in a stream. So yeah, that makes sense. So I want to see how like these ghouls in here generate. Like, is there only one? Will it constantly keep generating them? Gotta move around. Maybe I already killed the one in here. Yeah, I forgot there's more out here. Yeah, this is sort of like a kill zone. I go like right down the middle like that, all three of them pop out. Booger. Come on, I'm right here. Go. Even with my like higher accuracy, I'm still pretty vulnerable. So I just keep ending back to the ghouls here. Oh, stuck on the tombstone. You're fast. Come on, Hamfist. I guess he's only got a firearms of 1, right? He is a Decker. Okay. So I guess the other classification, right, is Samurai. So there's Decker, Shaman, and Samurai, right? Those are the 3. So for something like this, Samurai would probably be best. Well, not really, because they do armed combat. Not sure I can do armed combat. Is there like cat claws in this game? I think there might be. And that's just like, say melee attacks. Come on. Alright, oh, I thought I killed this guy already. Guess not. Ugh. Okay, so that one's dead. Yeah, grinding is so boring, in my opinion. I've kind of ran out of things to talk about. I'm a little bit on the tired side now. Didn't really run out of things to talk about. I mean, I could probably talk about things for days. Just bit on the tired side. Ran out of Pepsi here, or cola. Not a brand ambassador. Leader of cola. Same guy pop up again. So I'm not sure the ghouls give more experience than like the peoples or the headmen. Doesn't seem like it. It's just that they're more frequent, right? Kind of gotta wander around more to get the hitmen. Whereas the ghouls are just constant stream. D-E-D, and I think that's all of them. I'm sure that's all of them. Okay, so as I said, I'm just gonna parade around as well. I mean, I'll pop back into the cemetery and clear the ghouls. However, for the most part, I'm just gonna make the stop, so to speak. I'll probably end up having to sleep a lot more, but it's just... Whoa, I didn't know there's a guy up there too. Interesting. Interesting. Does he give good cash? He does. Whoa. I didn't even know there was a platform up there. Cool. So I guess I'll have to include that in my circuit here. That's it for that. So I'm surprised there's no peepholes in those sort of shutters on the side of that building, because, yeah, there's possible hitmen there. Same with right here, just there can be possible hitmen. There must only be a few spawn spots. Maybe they're trying to keep it more interesting, right? And down here, there's never any more hitmen. It's just end of scenario down there. There's nothing left down there. Same with these windows here. Never really see anything popping off in those windows. Or these windows. So it looks like the circuit is only just specific areas here. And of course, like I said, I'll have to sleep more often, right? I should have enough health. How's he doing though? How's Hamfist doing? Yeah, he's okay. Fine. He'll survive an encounter. And if I look here as well, examining this board here, bulletin board. Station closed for repairs. I can't. Not Hamfist. Can't open this door. I'm sure if I do another Matrix run, the bank account will actually be empty, right? So it'll just say Glutman account, and then it'll say empty, 0. And then I won't get sort of the follow-up thing. So including in the sort of circuit here, I might as well hit up these extra rooms. Right, clear these rooms. Might as well give them once around. Just because I said I would, and keeping things a little more interesting than just hanging out in the cemetery. The last run. So I believe that's where the injured man is. Seems familiar, right? And then, of course, I didn't want to just open the door here. And there should be some looks like a heavy dude. And these guys generally don't give much more money than any of the other guys. It's just those guys that are sort of up on the roof that seem to drop, say 30 to 60. And this guy is forever to kill. Okay, and then there's nothing else, just some sinks and a stove. Nobody in the corner. So this room sort of stay clear, but I mean, it'll regenerate, right? Head in here and it's just that guy. Just that memo. Already been read. Nothing else. And I said I'm not going to pick it up because there's no point. It'll just clutter up my inventory. And I'll go sleep it off here. Wait, is there... Ooh. Is there something down here? I remember there's a guy down here, no? Maybe later. I remember there's a guy shows up down here later. I think he leans up against the light post here. I'm not sure what triggers him. Maybe once the station opens. So I think I wasted that encounter. I think pretty sure that comes out of sort of Ham-Fist's quota. If I sort of run past an encounter. So I'll head in here, but before I do, I'm going to sleep it off. Oops. And Karma, got 9 here. So body 7, firearm 7k. So I'm going to put that into body. So this is my main focus right now. I'll go ahead and save. So I'm up to 80. I believe last time I left I was at 80. So, and I couldn't quite survive. So whenever this run is done, if I can get just a bit more karmas here. Okay, so it looks like he's fighting with this guy. So I'll pick on that guy first, right? Right on. Might be one more guy in the corner here. And as I said, oops, it's too far away. As I said, there's nothing else really going on. Nothing else really going on. The computers are not accessible. There's no items anywhere. Like I said, I was looking for that paperweight, but I don't think the paperweight comes till later. That's a magic item. Wait, wasn't it a table? Go back in here for another fight, I guess. See this here. What is this? Nothing? Okay. I didn't think so. Worth a look though. It's like 20, 30 bucks as most of these guys give. None of these other doors open. I got no keys for them. Let's take a peek here, might as well. Go for the encounter here. Get the karma. Anything over here. Wrap around here. This will sort of be the circuit. Come over here. Clear this room. Oops. There's a mage. Okay, so he's fighting this guy. It's best to focus on just one guy, right? Man, this heavy dude is brutal. So hopefully maybe I can get 2 more boosts to body. Pick it up to 100. Chummer. There we go. Okay. Pull that money, 40 bucks. Okay, so the heavy dude does give a little more, but it does not give as much as the guy on the ceiling. I'm pretty sure the guy on the roof will give up to 60, right? So, which is the most. Let's see if I can bump into him again here. No, it's not. Not there. Head over here. And there's no other rooms part of the circuit. I mean, with the morticians, there's no extra rooms here. Gletnin's building here. There's no extra rooms there. However, there is an extra room here with the businessman, so to speak. Quote unquote businessman, right? Okay, so in this room, oops. Yeah, there's a pretty full room here. Can be a full room. I think there could be up to 4 guys in a room at a time. Might be one more over here. Yeah, it's the mage, I believe. Yeah. I call him a mage, but he never actually shoots fireballs or anything, so. And there's nothing on the tables. No computers, no paperweight. I mean, it's too bad it didn't program in more computers. Just for the smell of it. Just something to do. Maybe a couple bucks. But it is kind of unbalanced as it is. I mean, I already got quite a bit of money already. So pretty much all spent on Ham-Fist here. Ham-Fist is getting his target not visible. Okay, so. There we go. Another karma. So Ham-Fist is hurting. He doesn't get attacked by ghouls. I'm gonna chance it. Because he doesn't get attacked by ghouls, and I'm gonna do a ghoul run. He'll be fine, I hope. I'll do a ghoul run here. But yeah, the ghouls generally don't hurt him, right? It's mostly come for me. Yeah. One of these guys is gonna pull back up. No? Yeah, no. Why is that guy popping up out of there? That's not his spawn spot. Does his spawn spot move? What happened there? Maybe just a glitch. Because yeah, his spawn spot's supposed to be like on this fence here. Alright. Huh? Is he dead? Maybe I'm thinking of a different spots. Scary ghoul. Very scary. Other guy over. Yeah, okay, so this other guy spawns and that makes sense. Whoa! Fast. Oops. Okay, I accidentally hit the button that time. Run! Considering maybe doing a story-based run, like using cheats and then just consistent story, right? Because this sort of whole grinding thing isn't that much fun. Kills time for me. And it shows off the strategies for sort of grind strategies, if such a thing, right? Just Google busting. Now I'm doing a tour. Do a once over tour. So regardless, it seems like Handfist is kind of on a timer kind of thing. Like the Shadowrunners are on a timer. And sort of doing a cyberspace run or a matrix run does sort of subtract from that time. Got him. There's this one. It's not there. Oh, my pistol is so awful. The Genesis version is so like noisy. Genesis generally is noisy inherently, sound chip and stuff. Sound effects. I'm considering if I do play the Genesis version, I'm wondering if I should maybe put on a de-esser for the stream, because yeah, it's pretty brutal. Genesis stuff is pretty brutal. It's like a flat sort of space in the noise range. DED. Come on, Karma. I'm pretty sure that's after this one is clear, right? Ooh. Come on, Hamfist, man. Nice. There's that Karma. Here's that Karma I was looking for. Okay, so I guess there's one more here. Pop back up. Should be in range, yeah. Just gotta keep an eye on Hamfist's health on the way back. I'd have to skip a fight. He's almost spent anyway. Okay, so done here. What do I got here? So I think I get like 9, 8 to boost my health. 8. So I get one more to boost the body. Nobody on the roof. There's one in the can. He's not responding. Snuck up on him, huh? Let's continue the circuit here. Not much left to the circuit. There's a couple peepholes around the corner here. I guess there's that room, right? Should I challenge the room? I'm gonna have to skip the room. I gotta get my money's worth out of Hamfist. He might die if I attempt these rooms, right? Yeah, he might die. Yeah, well, he's... I'll just keep an eye on his health. Yeah, there he's done. Booger! So, yeah. That's it for the runs. I feel like I didn't even get, you know, enough. I only have 8, moving on to 9. I got full, like, attack. But I really do need more health, so... How much do I have for cash? I'm gonna have to cash out. Ooh. I mean, I can do my own sort of circuits, right? I feel like that's the end of this stream for here. And then perhaps I want to get to at least 100 health, 100 body. Because last time I do believe I left at about 8. And that wasn't enough. 80 health. I'll finish it off as a solo circuit here. I'll do one of my own if I can survive it. Before I call it. Maybe get one more karma and boost body one time. Yeah, there we go. Okay. I'm still gonna finish the circuit here, sort of. What's left of the circuit anyway. This... no. Want this. If I can survive. I feel like I'm gonna get drained here. Might have to bail. I think that guy has too much body armor. I'm gonna go for the mages. Because they're sort of taking pot shots at me. Okay. And this guy, I think he's got body armor. See, like, I'm hitting him. So it must be like my attack, I guess. Because I'm hitting him and I have 7 firearms, but it's not hurting him. So it must just be like that my gun's too weak, I guess. Okay. So no karma there, unfortunately. I got half health. So I'll go reverse circuit here. Back out. Spend this karma and then call it. And perhaps maybe next stream I will in fact attempt to go to the next segment of the game, and then if I don't make it, I'll just come back and I'll do another round of grinding for karma. Get that health up to 100. Because 90 is more than 80, and that might just be what I need to survive, right? So I'm gonna do this here. 10 health might just be sort of the kicker. Oops. Oh, so actually want to go sleep it off, right? Okay. Didn't use. I'll spend this one karma. Body. Save and save. And that's it for this stream. So yeah, thanks to anybody that was watching, and see you next time.